Okay, everybody, welcome and happy holidays from the Sitrep Podcast. I am your host, Oriskany Jim, and today I am joined by my friend from down under, Mr. Dylan. How you doing, sir?
Hi, Jim. I'm doing good.
Cool. All right, guys. So, with the holiday season upon us, we're going to celebrate Christmas as only the Sitrep Podcast can, by murdering people in their beds. No, I'm just kidding, but not really. We're talking about what is sometimes called the Christmas miracle of the American Revolution, the Battle of Trenton, which technically took place on the early morning hours of December 26th, but the Delaware River crossing and the march that preceded it did take place on Christmas evening. Oh, cool. Ben's with us. Hell yeah, I was wondering if you were coming on. Yeah, so we try to do something about the Battle of Trenton almost every year, especially at Christmas. So we did Chosin Reservoir for Thanksgiving, and we're doing Trenton, so there's almost always a holiday battle that we can do to mark the season. So today we're doing, obviously, the Battle of Trenton, which took place pretty much right on Christmas, 1776. So I'm going to go through this super fast. And of course, Dylan, always, feel free to chime in if you want. We're looking at what's probably the most disastrous 6 months in the history of the United States military. So the Americans' Revolutionary War, or War of Independence if you prefer, officially starts in April of 1775. We don't actually declare our independence until July of next year. That's like 14 months later. In Philadelphia, that's literally American Independence Day, July 4th, 1776, the literal 4th of July. The problem is, immediately after that, the British, who had since been kind of kicked out of Boston, rather ignominiously, they didn't go back to Britain. They actually went up to Newfoundland and Halifax, I think, where they put together what was at the time the largest expeditionary force the Empire had ever sent anywhere. 40,000 men under two brothers, General Sir William Howe and his older brother, Admiral Sir Richard Howe. 40,000 men in all, soldiers and sailors, and they landed at New York, which was actually not America's largest city at the time, but it was still a very large city. And the British pretty much envisioned that was going to be their new central base of operations for what was clearly going to be a pretty serious war. Here in the American colonies. Up until now, the British haven't really taken it seriously. But certain battles, like obviously Lexington and Concord, the fall of Fort Ticonderoga, and Bunker Hill especially, technically Breed's Hill, but history remembers it as Bunker Hill, is finally kind of tipped them in to say, hey, you know what, this problem isn't going away. We're going to have to send some people over there and sort this out. So this is almost like the beginning of the Revolutionary War proper. Washington sends his whole army down here. He brings his whole army down here to New York to fight this battle. So it starts here in Boston. The British then have to retreat up here to Halifax. And then next year, when the weather improves, they come back. And it's literally like, okay, you had your little Battle of Yavin here in Boston. Now it's the Battle of Hoth, where the Empire literally strikes back. And they're not playing around. They're not kidding around at all anymore. Again, it's 40,000 troops, the biggest army Britain's ever sent anywhere at the time. Washington is left with the unenviable task of not only being outnumbered 2-1, 20,000 to 40,000, but he's defending what is, it's New York City. Anyone ever been to New York City? It's a series of islands against the largest navy on the planet. Washington's navy is exactly zero. So how do you think this is going to go? It doesn't go very well at all. We have the Battle of Long Island, largely considered the largest land battle of the American Revolution. It's an absolute catastrophe. He gets outflanked not once but twice in what almost becomes a double envelopment. He manages to retreat somewhat here onto Kip's Bay, onto Manhattan Island. He loses Manhattan like in less than a day. The British follow him onto Manhattan. That's the Battle of Kip's Bay. I almost shouldn't call it a battle. It's right there where 42nd Street is today. And Washington basically watches the entire Connecticut militia like run away past them as soon as the British grenadiers get out of their boats. There's like barely a shot fired, and the army just evaporates in terror. So he loses that battle. Obviously, he loses Long Island. He then has to retreat further north. He loses at Harlem Heights is called a draw by some historians. I don't really agree. It's another defeat. I mentioned this next part, Throg's Neck, because it's going to become a little important in today's game. That's where we see a certain unit of Massachusetts troops called, it's under a command of Colonel Glover, called the Marbleheaders. And we'll talk about them in a minute. These are troops that are raised from old whalers and like fishermen and merchant seamen and stuff like that. They're guys who are very, very good at improvising, building ships, operations on water. So this evacuation down here through a place called Throg's Neck, again, the British already control Long Island, so you're basically Dunkirking straight past British artillery. Somehow he pulls it off. They land here at New Rochelle, wanting to get beaten again at White Plains. Washington withdraws way up here north. Howe turns his army around. He takes out these two forts, Fort Washington, Fort Lee. Those forts are still there in real life, but again, those are gigantic defeats, like 3,000 people apiece surrendered. All kinds of cannon, most of the cannon that were taken from Fort Ticonderoga are lost in those battles. It's just a series of disasters. Now, Washington has basically lost all of, he's basically lost all of New York City. Unfortunately for him, the capital of the American colonies at that time, or the United States, it's not really the United States yet, is way down here in Philadelphia. So now the British are between Washington and Philadelphia. The British are sitting, so he has to get his army between the British and Philadelphia. So he force marches all the way down here, and it's just, they don't mark him here on these maps, but it's a series of rear guard skirmishes, and it's like defeat after another defeat, as he's pretty much just shoved completely out of not only New York, but now New Jersey as well. And in early December 1776, again, barely 5 months after we declared independence, he is now shoved across the Delaware River. He manages to cross to Philadelphia. He takes all the boats. This is George Washington. And he manages to set up a temporary camp here in Pennsylvania. It's now winter. Christmas is coming. And the British have pretty much closed out their campaign. They're pretty much, we got it. We got New York. We got New Jersey. We're going to go ahead and close out the campaign because that's what you did in those days. Washington's force has been reduced from 20,000 to 2,000. And most of them are sick, or they have frostbite, or they're starving. They have no shoes, they have no clothes. The army's basically toast. The war's basically over. It's, how do we come back from this? Now you're outnumbered like 20 to 1, 40,000 to 2,000. And your army's basically disintegrating. Another problem that's coming up is at the first of the year, most of the enlistment papers of the 2,000 men that Washington does have left run out. And he's really going to convince these guys to re-up their contracts. Like, no, we're going home, dude. This war's over. So Washington's out of men, out of money, out of time, out of room. He's out of everything. And he comes up with a rather desperate little plan. So like I said, what Howe has done, the British commander, is he's pretty much drawn most of his army back to a series of winter encampments here, especially in New York, Manhattan. New York City is about 25,000 people at this time. It's nothing like it is today, obviously. And to kind of keep an eye on the Americans across the Delaware River, he set up a series of very small outposts. He's got Cornwallis down there with a couple thousand guys at a little town called Trenton, which is today the capital of New Jersey. He's got about 1,200, maybe 900, sources differ. Usually it's probably supposed to be 1,200, but, there's always some men sick, there's some men detached on other duty, some men, who knows what. Basically, he's got 950 men or so. Actually, they're not British at all. They're so-called Hessians, and we'll get into that in just a second. These are Crown German regiments that the British have hired out of various principalities in what is today Germany. And they're basically auxiliary troops. They're very good, like heavy infantry. The Hessians scared the shit out of the colonists back in the day. Again, I'm going to call them Hessians through the course of the stream. Most of them are not Hessians at all. They're not from the German state Hesse. They're from, various places in what is today Germany. But historically, the Americans like to call them Hessians for reasons. But anyway, he's got about 900 Hessians under command of a guy, Colonel Johann Rahl, I should say. And his job is basically just to keep an eye on the Americans and make sure they don't do anything stupid, like cross back over the Delaware, run away to Philadelphia, who knows what. So Washington needs a victory. As inconsequential or as small as it is, he needs something to get his number for a whole bunch of reasons. Number one, convince Congress to continue the war and send him money and reinforcements. Two, to convince the American people that this war is still worth, again, America's like 5 months old at this point. The whole idea could go up in smoke at any moment. And he needs to basically slap the British around, or the crown somewhere. He needs to get some kind of victory. And probably most importantly, he has to give his troops a victory of some kind to convince them to re-up, to convince them to continue the war. Because again, in December 31st, they can all go home if they want. They only signed up for a year. That year is now over. So it's time to do something, man. He's got to pull something. Washington, that is. He's got to pull something out of his ass. And that's basically the Battle of Trenton. So, Dylan, have you ever done much reading on the Battle of Trenton or the American Revolution? I know you've got American Revolution miniatures in general.
Yeah, my focus on the Revolution is more in the South, more in the North Carolina, South Carolina area. But Trenton's pretty famous, so yeah, I definitely know a little bit about it.
Yeah, so you're talking about down here in. It starts with the fall of Savannah. The British pretty much take all of Georgia in one battle, the siege of Savannah. I think we lose 5,000 people there. It's the biggest American surrender of the war. And then from there, it's fighting over South Carolina and North Carolina. This is late war. This is 1780, 1781, right? And then, believe it or not, the British eventually start to pull back, and they eventually wind up at Yorktown, and we all know what happens there. This would be considered early war. Again, we're in December of 1776, so the Americans are not nearly, like the whole idea of the Continental Regular in his blue coat, and that shit just hasn't happened yet. It's not even close. It's farmers in rags.
When you buy the Perry Miniatures plastic, the 28mm plastic set, it comes with a uniform guide for the Continental Army. And it's 6 double-sided A5 pages that basically amount to there wasn't one. So it's sort of like 200 brown jacket, 200 red, 200 green sent to this one regiment.
Now in 77, the Continentals get on like this this brown and red sort of a color scheme. That was always, at least in early and mid-war, like supposed to be the Continental uniform. It's just they just never really had them. 77, like you see a lot of those. My favorite campaign up here in 77. That's where you get Oriskany, literally. 1st and 2nd Saratoga, Bennington, Hubbardton, all that stuff up there. Fort Stanwix. So, yeah, but then by the time you get down to the late war, that's where, number one, the American military is actually getting some money now. We're getting a lot of help from the Dutch, the Spanish, and especially the French. Especially in terms of money. The Dutch were sending us all kinds of money and weapons, and the French as well, and of course the Spanish. So before you know it, we actually did start to get some kind of uniform going. So if you have an American Revolutionary Army, guys, and it's it is like the blue and white or the blue and buff or whatever that you see. It's not historically inaccurate. It's just going to be historically inaccurate for this particular battle.
Yeah, almost all the uniforms are based on the provincial uniforms. So the Continental uniform is sort of like the Virginia provincial uniform, which makes sense because this is what Washington was wearing. The brown and red is the Pennsylvania, I think. So yeah, all the different.
At first, yeah, and then later on, like most of the New York regiments had that. But again, that's later. That's in the summer and early fall of 77.
They're based on the colors are based on the French Indian War style provincial uniforms. But yeah, actually getting them out is a whole different thing.
Totally. Okay, so we got going here to the chat. Watching you guys in 7.1 surround sound. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. On an 82-inch screen. Oh my God. It is literally a Sitrep room. We're gonna start calling your hobby room like the Situation Room, like underneath the White House. Sitrep Podcast. The Crossing, a good movie, a good Christmas movie for grognards, says Because Science Teacher. This is true. If anyone has not seen it, I think it's available on YouTube. It's an old, I think it's an A&E movie. It's a made-for-TV movie, so it's not like, Industrial Light and Magic Badass, special effects movie. But it's one of the best American Revolutionary War movies I've ever seen. Jeff Daniels, our favorite guy from Gettysburg, plays Washington. He does a pretty good job. And it's a pretty historically accurate rendition of The Crossing. The crossing of the Delaware River and the actual assault on Trenton, which we'll get into in just a second here. Let's see what else is going on here. Did Techno Santa come early this year? Techno Santa for the TV, right. Awesome. A Sitrep Podcast says this is just our family room setup instead of watching it from our hobby room. Awesome. Oh no, Jen. We lost New York. That's not a big loss. That's a terrible. I apologize to everyone from New York. If they had stayed part of England, maybe we wouldn't have to deal with the. Oh no. Okay, I'll go ahead and skip the political commentary. Because Science Teacher also says our forces were rather eclectic, weren't they? Indeed, they were. The American Continental Army, kind of a myth, at least in this early part of the war. There is a core of Continental Regulars, but a lot of it is just these attached state militias. So again, if you're into miniatures, the early part of the American Revolution gives you a lot of freedom because you can there's a lot of choices. Okay, so kind of get things going here a little bit. Hello, change tabs. Cool, there it is, finally. Alrighty. So, to make a long story short, take your first shot of the day. This is our zoom in of the Battle of Trenton. This is the entire city of Trenton to scale in December 1776. Wasn't a very big town, obviously. Each hex is about 100 meters across or whatever. And again, for anyone who's watched any of our old Sitrep Cup games or Battlefield Rebellion games, a counter is like a parade ground full-strength company, which again is kind of a misnomer here because most companies were never full-strength. Long story short, it's about 80 men. Take your second shot of the day. So what Washington decides he's going to do is he's going to go about 10 miles north. Again, he is on the, let me change colors here. I'll put the Americans in blue. He is on the Pennsylvania side of the Delaware River. He goes about 10 miles north. Oh god, I can't remember the name of the crossing. It begins with an M, but I'll figure it out later. Where there's a guy there who runs a ferry service. He's already bought or just straight out stolen all the boats to make sure the Hessians cannot cross against him. He's still out of time because what's going to happen in about 5 or 6 days? The Delaware River is going to freeze, and those Hessian regiments can just walk across the ice and destroy them. So he wants to hit them first. The river is not quite frozen yet. It does have a lot of floating ice in there. It's getting ready to freeze. So in the middle of the night, on December 25th, Christmas Day, he marches what's left of his army, about 2,000 starving, frostbitten, sick. We're talking about dysentery, jaundice. The army's falling apart. He's got one last swing with it left. He decides to march what he has left, about 10 miles north, and then cross the river in the middle of the night in these like stolen flatboats, or appropriated flatboats. To say that this is risky is, guys, I mean, one Hessian spy finds out about that this is happening, or one Hessian picket hears about this, or one loyalist. Again, a third of the American population was still for the crown at this point. One loyalist, sends somebody a message, and that's it. The war's over. There is no United States of America nowadays. At least not until the mid-1800s sometime. It's just not going to happen. He crosses what's left of his army across the river, and the plan is to then march down toward Trenton on 2 different roads and attack them in darkness, like 5 in the morning, 4 in the morning, maybe 6 in the morning, because again it's December, so the sun comes up very late this far north. Okay, a couple things go wrong. Number one, I mean, thank God the Hessians never found out about this. Um, in fact, if anything, Washington had a spy of his own on the Jersey side, and he was actually up all night gambling and drinking with Johann Rall, like literally all night the night before. He deliberately kept him awake until like 3 in the morning, just drunk off his ass and, gambling away all his money. And it was just basically to make sure that keep him here, make sure no fresh orders go out to the Hessian sentries, make sure the Hessian garrison is not in a state of readiness tomorrow, and the actual commander, Johann Rall, he damn sure isn't in a state of readiness the next morning. The myth is that the Hessians in Trenton were all drunk and hungover after basically getting hammered all day on Christmas. That's actually not true. Where that myth kind of comes from is from their commander himself. Johann Rall was pretty badly messed up the next day. He was not he was not exactly serviceable. He wasn't quite at 100% the next morning. Let's just put it that way. The problem for Washington is that this crossing takes way longer than expected. He's got to load his men into these flatboats, like 20 at a time. They have to be paddled across by hand, again, by those marble headers that we were talking about up here at Throg's Neck. Colonel Glover is like the guy who made this whole operation possible, because without him, there's no way he could have gotten across that river. Again, it's now the middle of the night. He was supposed to be across by like midnight. It's now like 4 in the morning. His commanders are warning General Washington, okay, your nighttime surprise attack just became a daylight attack up against Hessian regiments. These are some of the best regiments on the planet. They're even better than most British regiments. There's no way. He's like, well, we're committed now. We have to do it. They form up, and now they force march down these two roads. Again, it's like 10 miles down the road again, back down towards Trenton. And they wind up attacking at about 8:30 in the morning in broad daylight. So the attack becomes much riskier than originally intended. Washington was people ask me sometimes, was Washington a good general? And I know LSR, you can chime in on this. Was Washington a good general or not? And I always say, well, it depends on the game. It depends on how big the hexes are, whether Washington was a good general or not. An operational genius, a tactical clown. I mean, he could come up with a great plan and execute that plan on basically, if this is his map, if he's planning operationally, he's a genius. He's like better than Napoleon in some ways. But unlike Napoleon, once the battle comes down to this, where the roads are, where the tree lines are, the creek, the fence, once it comes down to an actual game, for lack of a better term, yeah, not so much. He gets outflanked at Brandywine. At Long Island, he gets outflanked twice. At Germantown, he outflanks himself. And this is where LSR is going to chime in and probably talk about Fort Necessity in the previous war.
Yeah, I mean, French-Indian War. His three biggest claims to fame are massacring an envoy's party, fighting his own men in a fog, and then Fort Necessity. I mean, that's pretty much the three biggest things he did.
Isn't that he signed the document saying that he killed that Frenchman?
Yeah, and then he blamed his translator.
But he didn't really do that though, did he?
Oh yeah, no, he didn't do it. Somebody, the Half King did it. What's his name?
Yeah, I think his name was Half King. He was a Native American that was attached to him.
Yeah. Washington didn't kill him, but yeah.
It kind of happened under his command, and then the document in which he quote admitted doing it was written in French. Yeah. And he didn't speak French at the time, and basically they handed him this document. He said, "Okay, fine." He signed the document, and next thing you know, Washington has butchered this poor innocent Frenchman, which is complete bullshit. This guy was.
He didn't. He just attacked the actual party itself. He didn't. Although he shouldn't have attacked them because they weren't actually at war. So there's no anyway.
Yeah, I mean the 7 Years' War was in progress. You can't blame Washington for starting the 7 Years' War, but for expanding it to North America, I mean, it was probably going to happen anyway because Quebec and French and the British or whatever. But,
I don't blame him for expanding it. People do that all the time, but that doesn't make any sense.
He was the guy who was unlucky enough to be there when the first shot was fired or whatever.
Yeah, and we only know about it because he happened to do something pretty famous later on. So, I mean, if George Washington had died in what, 73 or something, we never would know about
or,
if you
or
wanted to plan any of that. Yeah.
if Fraser had gone ahead and shot his ass at Brandywine,
Yeah.
September 11th, 1777, you would have a different person on the $1 bill right now. Okay, guys. So again, here's our actual game map. What we are talking about here are, again, I'll do the Americans in blue. I'll do light blue so it's easier to see on this map. I have the American forces as they were actually set up in their actual force compositions and on their actual routes of march. So again, he was coming down these two basic roads. There's the river road that goes right by the Delaware River. So he's crossed from the Pennsylvania side to the New Jersey side. Again, maybe 10 miles north of this. And he had to do that because that's where you could cross the river on these boats. And number two, he had to make sure there was a safe amount of distance between him and the closest observers that he could possibly run across on this whole Hessian outpost here. So he's coming down these two main roads. There's the River Road where he's got Sullivan's division. And I'll go into the regiments there in just a little bit. That's one of his main lieutenant commanders there. Not the sharpest knife in the drawer, General Sullivan, but a doer, a closer. Intensely loyal, which was not, you could not say for a lot of Washington's generals. There were a lot of people that would better off not be sitting at that table. Sullivan was not one of them. Sullivan was the guy who you said, take apart that house brick by brick using your forehead to break the bricks apart. He would do it, and his men would do it. Kind of almost like the shock troops in the Continental Army. Again, not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but if you need an unstoppable force or an immovable object, he's your man. Then we have Greene's division, Nathaniel Greene, a much more thoughtful commander who winds up winning a lot of the campaigns that Elisar's probably more familiar with. That's Nathaniel Greene. He pretty much started the war as one of Washington's lieutenants and never really went away. Very patient, very methodical, and kind of a badass, but a quiet badass. If Sullivan is the Patton of this army, Greene is the Bradley. To use future generals as rough analogs. And then I'm not sure what's going on here, but historically I do know that that unit was coming down that little side road there. I guess they were watching the flank. There was a British garrison at Princeton, about 10 miles up that way. So perhaps he was a security element against that. They enter in through those three hexes that I have marked. Those are the actual historical entry points for these three columns. So that's them at the end of turn 1 using the game's movement rates on road and in column formation. And then on turn 2, they are down here. Oops, let me zoom out just a little bit so it's the same scale as the previous map. So as you can see, they're a lot closer now. And here's where things get crazy. This is as far as I wanted to push it, as far as running the game in advance. It's now the beginning of Hessian turn 2. The Americans move first, the Hessians move second. You notice the Hessians have not moved at all between these two turns. They're all still asleep. This is going to be one of the biggest surprise attacks in history. A huge number of the Hessians who were killed in this battle died literally bayoneted to death in their beds, still wearing their long johns. It actually does happen. It could happen here. It will happen at least a little bit here today. The question is how quickly the Hessians get alerted to what's actually going on. I'm playing the Americans. I'm trying to approach as stealthily as I can. However, we do have roles for the Hessians to activate. Because contrary to popular belief, they were not all blasted out of their heads, hung over, drooling in their pillows or whatever. They were an actual military unit, but they were confined to barracks. They were completely surprised. They had no idea an attack was coming. They had no idea the Americans were even still an existing army, much less on this side of the river. Nevertheless, they did still have guardhouses and sentries posted at various, crossroads and places, places that people might attack. Just a military force does this. Before they, put head to pillow, they set out sentries. Those sentries have been overrun by bayonet and saber, so to speak. Quietly, no gunfire. Historically, that happened perfectly. What this chart here is going to handle is, let's see if it doesn't happen perfectly. And it's just basically a chance roll that gets progressively worse for the Americans. Sooner or later, somebody from one of those guardhouses is going to survive and run back and yell at somebody, hey, yeah, find the Americans, the Americans are here, beat the colors kind of a thing. So, yeah, the American movement phase, the Americans are done basically for turn 2. And now we're going to make those activation rolls to see if any of these Hessians actually wake up. Hopefully not. At least for me. So again, we're on the end of turn 2. So the activation roll is 4 or less on 2d6. Again, it's not great. But LSR does get to roll 3 times for his 3 different regiments.
Okay.
So the 3 regiments are... go ahead, but I'll just keep talking about... Again, the Lossberg regiment, I'll do the Hessians in yellow. Lossberg Fusiliers, those are basically, German infantry with muskets. The Grenadier, originally under Johann Rahl, now it's under one of his lieutenants. Those are actually heavy infantry. And the Kniphausen Fusiliers.
Okay, we'll start with the Lossberg.
All right.
12.
They are not only asleep, they're like dead. Okay, so they're definitely not awake. We'll see if Rahl's guys wake up. So at your convenience, roll.
Okay, for Grenadiers.
Yeah.
8.
All right, and then Kniphausen Fusiliers.
Another 8.
All right, cool. All right, so that's going to complete turn 2. Because there is no basically Hessian turn here. I should make a quick note about the victory conditions, because this game is about to seem really unfair. People who watch our stream are going to remember that when I design scenario-based games, or historically scenario-based games, the historical result, especially for the attacker, is the minimum victory condition. So, historically, what happens in the real life? Watch The Crossing, you'll see it pretty much unfold before your eyes, in a relatively realistic way. Washington, his 2 columns converge here on Trenton. They surprise the ever-living piss out of all of these poor Hessians. They table the whole the whole Hessian force. Everybody's either killed or captured. I think like a handful get away and warn Princeton, but we're talking about like 10 guys out of a force of about 1,000. They capture the colors, they capture the drums, they capture double fortified brass, I think 12 pounders or 6 pounders. Basically the Hessian artillery. They capture all their horses. They capture gunpowder, warm food, warm clothes, horses, supplies, food, new boots. I mean, they take the whole friggin' pile of this whole garrison, everything that the Americans need to continue the war for a few more weeks. American casualties are effectively 0. Not a single person is actually shot and killed in the course of this entire battle. I think American dead is really like 2, maybe 3, and that's mostly due to frostbite and exposure on the way here. So what this means is, number 1, I get to attack Dylan here pretty much carte blanche while he's still literally in bed. And then, of course, once I attack him, everyone's awake because there's yelling and screaming and pistol fire and stuff like that. However, and I have to table his entire force, he kills a single American unit. That's a Hessian victory. Even if he gets tabled, which he will, trust me. If he kills a single American unit in the process, I have now lost more people than Washington did historically, therefore I lose the game. So I've play tested this game a couple times in the past, like earlier in the summer, and I can tell you from just my experience, I've yet to win with the Americans. I always table the Hessians, but I always lose at least 1 unit. So again, this game is going to seem kind of unfair, but it is against the Americans, believe it or not. The battle's unfair against the Hessians, but the game, well, we'll see what happens. Okay, so we're going to begin American turn 3. American turn 3 begins with change formation. Let me go ahead and move that turn sequence chart a little closer so that we don't have to scroll as much. We can keep track of what's going on here. Okay, so American turn sequence begin with the shift formation. Right now, the entire American force in all 3 columns is in column formation. It's time to go to line. Let me do this with more than one unit at once, so we're not here all day. Before I really get started, let me go ahead and get started on the chat here. Firelike22, wow, this is like the first time you've joined us on the chat. I recognize that name from on Tabletop. Welcome, and welcome to the chat. Awesome. Manila Bay victory condition says because signed Sitrep. That's actually pretty close. Yeah, pretty much a single solid hit landed on an American unit. That's pretty much it. I think Ben's referring to the Battle of Manila Bay in the Spanish-American War. We used to play a game called Fire When Ready. It's a pre-dreadnought battleship naval game, and one of the battles you can recreate in that game is Manila Bay against the Spanish. And yeah, pretty much if a single American cruiser is even damaged, Spanish victory. The entire Spanish fleet is sunk. Yeah, I know, but you actually took a bloody nose doing it, so you lose. Needless to say, the battle is very one-sided. Okay, so combat phase. I'm not going to shoot at anybody. Identify target unit, assess modifiers, roll d6 supply damage. We're now going to go to, move all units. Now remember, I'm not allowed to move past any Hessian units. Yeah, movement in this game is kind of a pain in the ass. Oops. There's no additional movement penalty across that stream because there's a bridge in that stream. Okay, these guys are still in line formation, so their movement is actually 4. That becomes 8 on a road. So when you're in line formation, guys, I should say that the top of your counter indicates the actual facing. I'm staying out of range of most Hessians, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to wake up the Hessians now, so Dylan actually gets to play. And once he wakes up, he's going to have a chance to fire, and I don't want to lose any units. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, it costs 2 points to move across the stream if you're not... Alright, that Stevens Regiment is still in column. Washington is going to go ahead and hang out here to give a resilience bonus in case it's needed. Where's Green? Green's going to stack with those guys. Lead from the front, dude. Yeah, the Americans have an embarrassment of commanders in this game. Their army basically went from 20,000 to from 20,000 down to 2,000. And they didn't really lose any of their generals in the process. So, long story short, take your third shot. They have a crap ton of officers compared to the size of their army. So if it seems like the Americans have way too many commanders, you're not crazy. They do. Where's Knox? Did I lose track of Knox? What the hell? I lost track of Knox? Or is he way back? Oh, come on, you get your fat ass up here. And no, I'm not kidding. Knox was about 5'4". He weighed about 290 pounds. So he was a rather portly lad. Obviously, he's the guy that Fort Knox is named after. He's the guy that also where we train all our tank crews, last I heard. Apologies for the British Grenadier playing right now. There are no British troops on this map, but I have no Hessian marching music, so... 3, 4. He gets more movement points, but I don't know how close I want to get. Because they're still in line formation. When you're in line formation, or column formation, I should say when you're in column formation, you're pretty vulnerable. Stacking limitation is 2 units to a hex, and officers don't count. Because they're literally one guy. Oh no! Hold on, where was this game? Let's see if I can speed this up a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. That means these two could have wound up here. One, 2, 3. He's gonna have to stay put there. Because again, he would violate stacking if he moved into any of those other hexes. Sound clear? Pretty sure he was a Scotsman. That may have been Lord Stirling. He called himself Lord Stirling, like he was some sort of Scottish lord, and there's some contest about how true that claim actually was. Okay, how close were those guys? I don't think they can actually charge. I'm going back to last turn as a reference. 1, 2, and then that was all their movement. So, no, you have to actually... Oh, hold on. Infantry charge range is 2 hexes. So those 2 units were in 3317. Yeah, but that's basically 2 points of movement to cross that stream, so I don't think I can actually charge that. Okay, so plus I didn't declare it, so that would be kind of cheesy. Okay, that will make sure I'm not forgetting anybody. Yeah, the Americans are actually pretty close now. That will conclude American movement, and thus their turn. I slightly misremember the charge rules, so these 2 charges won't actually take place this turn. That would be unfair. So now we go back over to Dylan's turn, and I have not yet moved past any Hessian units, so nothing's automatically alerted. I am now adjacent to some Hessian units. That doesn't matter. Historically, they were literally right outside the window by the time the first person woke up. However, he does get 3 more rolls, and that the target number on those rolls does go up. It goes up by 1 every turn. So, Mr. Dillon, it's now officially your turn, if you're still awake. We got 3 chances here. First, you need a 5 or less now on the Losberg Fusiliers.
Alrighty. 6.
Close. Somebody woke up, he came outside, he's like, "Was ist los?" And then he got stabbed in the neck by the first American. He almost activated, guys. That would have been bad, because I'm like right there. Alright, next. Regiment Rahl, 2d6.
4.
They're activated. They woke up. These units here, like a sentry got back there. and said, define the armies. What they didn't call them armies in the American Revolution, but define is basically the enemy. They're crossing that creek. All right, so these units get to move normally this turn. Last but not least, Kniphausen Regiment Fusiliers.
3.
Shit, most of the Hessians are now awake.
Wow.
All right, guys, pretty sure I just lost this game. I'll still win the battle, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to lose some units now. All right, cool. So Lossburg is still not able to move yet. However, these 2 units are now awake, which is ironic. They're the ones that the Americans are literally like peeking in on your windows now. Like, that guy's got funny socks on. But these 2 regiments, pretty much everything south of the Presbyterian Church is now awake. So first thing you're going to choose is their formation and which way they're facing. I guess we can work our way from left to right if you want.
Yep.
So the Grenadiers.
That sounds good. Yep.
All right.
I'm going to I'll put everyone into line formation.
Okay. Facing like northwest mostly, or northeast?
I'll go north. Yeah.
Of course,
northeast for them.
You can always mix it up even within the same hex. So.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So I'm sorry, you said northwest?
Northeast. Sorry.
Oh, okay,
northeast.
cool. So when you're in line formation, people in the chat, your tops of your counter are facing a hex point, and those 2 hexes are your front. When you are in column formation, your hex side, your hex top, again, that's always your facing, is facing a hex side, and that's your front. So obviously you're in much more combat ready formation when you're in. Okay, so that's that regiment. And then down here we have these guys.
Yep. They'll also face northeast.
Oops. Come on. All right.
Hang on. There's a little bit of lag. Okay. Oh, yeah. So the Kniphausen Regiment, they'll all face northwest. Sorry.
Oh, okay, cool. I was gonna say.
Sorry, yeah. There's a little bit of lag, and I thought you were talking about that.
Oh, gotcha. No worries.
Yeah.
What the hell? I think I just doubled that unit.
I'm cool
Reinforcements from nowhere. No. Yeah, these were the Kniphausen Regiment is the unit that gave the Hessians their bad name. They bayoneted a huge number of Washington's own troops to death in Brooklyn, after they surrendered. Those are the Kniphausen Regiment are the reason the Hessians have kind of a bad reputation in the American Revolution. How about that artillery? Again, they can't shoot through buildings, so they're in kind of a weird place right now. And their movement when in column is 2. Their movement when in line or when unlimbered is literally 1. So.
I'll move them. I'll move them later this turn. So I'll leave them limbered.
Okay.
And they'll face southwest.
They'll face southwest. Cool. All right. All right. So that.
And the Jaegers northwest. Sorry, I missed it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they're technically part of the. They're the elite troops, so they're part of Grenadier Roll. I should have made that more clear. Yeah, there were some Jaegers there. There was 40 Jaegers there, so I made a piece for them. They should be half a piece, but I'm not going to make half a piece. Okay, okay, cool. So we are now at the end of the choosing formation phase. We now go to your combat phase. Everything is out of range, which is why I did not move as aggressively as I wanted to. Range in this game, again, we're talking about smoothbore muskets for people in the chat. And a hex is 100 yards or 100 paces. So, yeah, range is really short. The Jaegers and American Riflemen can shoot up to 3, and artillery can shoot up to 6 if it's unlimbered. Right now, everyone's artillery, including mine, is still limbered. You have to deploy it first. Again, movement and formation in this game is a pain. Intentionally so. It's Napoleonic, pre-Napoleonic line warfare, linear warfare. Everything else has a range of 2. And that third number there, that's their attack at long range, 2 hexes. This is their attack at short range, 1 hex. This is their attack at melee. So, literally bayonet battle. You have to be in the same hex. So, yeah. Those grenadiers scare me a little bit. Because they're probably his best troops. In fact, they certainly are his best troops. Okay, so there's not really any combat because again, Lossberg, they're all still asleep. We go to your movement phase. Now, one thing that you can do with your movement phase in those special rules for Hessian activation, if anyone from an activated unit can reach the other unit, they can be considered automatically activated at the end of their next turn, or at the beginning of their next turn. Basically, you can either send a runner or a rider up to Lossberg and say, "Hey, dumbasses, wake up."
Okay.
I'll zoom out a little bit so we can see what's going on a little bit better.
It's interesting, isn't it? I'm almost... Do I just abandon all of those guys up there? Because I imagine they're going to get...
Nobody likes them anyway.
Well, they're a different regiment. They're the
Yeah.
no one. Yeah, I think I'll leave them where they are. I think I won't mess with the Lossbergers.
Okay. Well, yeah, they're not moving at all. I was just if there's a rule that says if you want to send a runner up there to alert them, you can. I'm pretty sure the Americans are going to alert them at the beginning of next turn anyway. So.
Yeah, I don't think there's any point doing. Yeah. Okay.
But other than that, yeah, you have your regular movement now. Again, changing formation is a different phase, so it doesn't count as part of your movement.
Yeah. So first thing I'll do is I'll move the artillery into that empty hex to their southwest.
All right. That's one movement point. They have one more. And when you're in line formation, you can change direction however you want.
Okay. Yeah, they'll change direction to northwest.
Are they moving one more hex, or are they gonna?
Yeah, I'll move one more hex. Yeah.
It's a little sloppy there.
The Jaegers will move up as well, northwest.
Okay.
And change their facing. Face northeast. I think. Yeah.
That's their second point of movement. All right, no worries.
Yeah.
Cool. Anyone else?
The two Kniphausen Fusiliers on the left. Two companies there.
Oh, on the left, got it.
Just one forward into 3522 into those buildings there.
Into the Hunt House.
Yep.
Cool. Again, that's a building hex anyway, so no worries there. But you may remember this from before. You're not allowed to fire artillery through your own troops.
Yep.
Unless you're on high ground.
And the other regiment will come up alongside them.
And did I empty?
The other two companies.
3421.
Yep. That's it.
All right. Their commander.
He will join 3421. And the other company.
They're in church the day after Christmas. They're good boys. They're in a stone building. They got like +2 defense bonus.
Yeah, they probably don't want to leave, but I'll move them into 3321, so up and then northwest.
3321, got it. Cool, nice little line there.
And the Grenadiers, they're also in a stone building, so they're pretty good. I'll leave the Grenadiers where they are.
Okay. So I'm pretty sure that concludes turn 2. You have nothing to rally, obviously. There's no charges declared. Cool. Cool, so now we begin turn 4. We're going to have shooting in just a second, guys, I promise. Appreciate everybody's patience. Meanwhile, let me check Mr. Chat here. Oh no, we have some jokes. we have some comedians in chat here. Alright, let's see what's going on in Mr. Stream. Oh yeah, Firelight 22. Yes, that's me. Nice to see you on here, Jim. We do Firelight 22. We do gaming every single Sunday, or we try to every Sunday. Again, Sitrep Podcast is usually modern, but we have expanded into historical wargaming in general. Our focus is still on modern, but like one game out of three, or one piece of content out of two or three, we venture out of modern. Modern being post 1945. So, pretty much Korea forward, roughly speaking. Yeah, but obviously today being December, we're coming up on Christmas. We decided to do a Christmas battle, one of the more famous Christmas battles here in the American Revolution. The other choice would have been something in Panzerleader for like the Battle of the Bulge. There's some pretty serious Christmas combat going on up there. Let's see what else is going on here. Sitrep Podcast says, set them on fire. Sitrep Podcast, I'm working on it. I'm about ready to open a can of whip ass on the poor Lossberg Regiment Fusiliers. They're about to get some serious... They're about to find out that there's a battle underway. Merry Christmas to the crew. Merry Christmas, everybody. Yep, very cut and dry tonight. We'll see what happens. Cut and dry, Vorpal Bite, do you mean what happens to the victory conditions here? We'll see what happens. What kind of cars do Santa's elf drives? Toyotas. Oh my god. Okay, Vorpal Bite is going to be our designated comedian for the evening. I'm very sorry, everybody. Dad joke alert. Says because science teacher. Let's see what else we here. Win the battle but lose the game. I love victory conditions. Oh, absolutely. That's like literally my favorite kind of game. All my games tend to be historical, or at least I try to make them very historical as I can. And real wars, real battles are never fair. So when if you ever sit down at a war game and that war game is fair, it is not historically accurate. Just throw it away. If historical accuracy is important to you. Where the game has to become fair is in the disbalanced victory conditions the other way. But I've talked that sentence to death, so yeah, secret sauce of asymmetric wargaming, absolutely right. In fact, I use that very term, secret sauce, in Vietnam Ops Center. I think it's episode 11. The victory conditions are how you make asymmetrical wargaming really work. No ancients or no Napoleonics. Vorpal Bite, we have done Napoleonics. We did the Battle of Waterloo on June 18th of last year. Excuse you very much. We have done Napoleonics in the past. By the way, you just had that noise you just heard was Dylan's ears perk up because you said Napoleonics. He's a big Napoleonics guy. We got to sit down and do that Blucher game one of these days. We got to figure out how to do that virtually.
Oh, we'll figure it out, yeah.
Cool. I think I got everything going here. I'm glad you guys did well. Did you probably bet? Oh, we're talking about the Bills. Yeah, the Bills won last night. Clinched the division for the first time in 25 years. I almost cried. I was so happy. Oh no, the Buffalo Bills. Have I done the Great Emu War? Oh no. I should direct that comment over to you there. We had a joke in our Afghanistan stream about the Emu War. We had Australian 4th Commando SAS, and we decided, or not 4th Regiment, no 4th RAR Commando, I should say, not SAS. I'm sorry. In one of their historical battles in 2006 Afghanistan, and Dylan, of course, was playing the Australians, and he was not choosing to move into a tree line for reasons. I can't remember what the reasons were. I was like, he's afraid to go into that tree line because he thinks there might be emus in there. So no, we've never done it, but we have brought it up in the stream before. I'd rather fight the Taliban than emus. Okay, let's get this thing going.
I do know where to get 15mm emus from.
Maybe I'll do. I was kidding, but okay. Dylan's got to go buy the miniatures now.
Actually, I can get 28mm emus. Oh
no.
No, that's dangerous. I'm not going to go there.
Don't make the emus too big. You would need a lot of them, wouldn't you?
Oh, thousands, yeah.
Yeah,
bankrupt.
Okay, shift formation. Yes, I want to shift some formations. There's the man himself. Notice I do not make Washington a good general. Seriously, I give those numbers as an army commander. He is an adequate general. Or a solid. 18 hexes plus 1. Again, tactically, he wasn't all that. But for now, I'm going to shift to some more formations. Unlimber the artillery. Yeah, Knox. He's a 4-0. Nothing against him, but a professional military officer he was certainly not. He ran a bookstore before the war. Never put on a uniform before the war started. He just read a lot of books about it. Basically, actually, Knox, you know what? Let me stop making fun of Knox. Knox should be like every wargamer's hero. He's never been in combat. He's never been in the actual military. Everything he thinks he knows about war, he's learned from reading books, and he's a little overweight. He's basically almost every wargamer. We always ask, how would I do if I was an actual, suddenly thrust into military command, for real? Like, if I suddenly had to do this at 1-to-1 scale? General Henry Knox. He's your answer. And I mean, a lot of people poke fun at him, but he didn't do too bad. He pretty much ran rebel artillery through the whole war. Oh God, yeah. Deploy into line. Dear God, help me. The Germans are awake. Oh man, this is not going to be good. This is going to be awful. These hexes here are where I'm probably going to lose the game. I'll still win the battle, but the game is... Because historically, the Hessians have already woken up before they did historically. I mean, I'm still 300 yards away, and the Hessians are already aroused and in formation. Wow, that didn't sound right. Roused from their beds and still in formation. Let me quickly amend that. They'll all stay in line for now. I'm sorry, in column. That second echelon there. Pretty much, there's Glover's Marbleheaders. Notice they're at the back of the column, because they were the ones who had to pull the boats out of the water when everyone else was done crossing. Oh, lordy. Alright, let's go to combat phase. I am allowed to shoot artillery if I want, because the artillery is on high ground, and the intervening American units are closer to me than to the intended target. So that's basically me shooting over my own guys' heads. They're both in my... okay, that third battery is not in the fire arc. These two batteries are. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're easily within range. Okay, cool. So I'm going to open up with some artillery. Alright, guys. Here it comes. We have now opened fire on the Hessians. They're literally cannonballs are coming through the windows into their beds. At least I hope. Depends on how well I roll. Okay, -1 if attack includes artillery. Yes. Patriot, you are considered shaken because you're still asleep. I am shooting downhill. That's 3. You don't have a facing, so these don't apply. Not invalid command radius. I think you are invalid command radius. Yeah, there's a literal commander in that hex. Alright, cool. So it's -3. I am firing 2 dice and 2 dice. Actually, no, that's 1 dice. Sorry. Cool. So 0, obviously you can't melee with cannon. 3 is their short range attack. 2 is their long range attack. Did I ever clean up those rules for artillery? I just gave them 6 in range. Okay, we'll just say it's 1. We don't want Knox to get ahead of himself here. Alright, so I'm going to roll 1 dice for each of these 2 guns. Or 2 divisions. I think it's a total of 4 cannon there. 2 guns per unit there. It's the wrong app. Okay. Notice my little holly I've got here for my Sitrep dice box. Merry holidays, everybody. Happy holidays. Not so merry for these Hessians, I hope. What is his resilience? His resilience is a 3. I get to subtract 3 from that number for the modifiers I previously went over. So I'm basically, his new thing is a 0. However, I think he gets something for being in buildings. And, yeah, he gets +1 for being in woods. I'm sorry, for being in light town, wood-colored buildings. So it basically, -2, it's 1. It doesn't matter because a 1 is always a miss anyway. Linear warfare is the realm of chaos, especially when it comes to weapons fire. You pull the trigger on your weapon, you never quite know what's going to happen. So, yeah, 2 dice. I'm looking for pretty much 2 ups. Cool, so that's 2 hits. Alright, so 2 hits have been assessed on... I didn't declare, so let me go ahead and roll a dice. I need to be a little bit more precise. Odds, I put them on 1 unit. Evens, they're split up between the 2 units. Odds, they're on 1 unit. Evens. Okay, so both of these units are shaken. They were already shaken. They're now routed. Where are my counters? They're considered shaken because, again, they're like special, like you were asleep when the cannon fire started scenario rules.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you're asleep in cannonballs coming through your house, you just get out. I don't think you. Yeah, that's it.
So it's up to you. They have to conduct routed movement right away. They have to move 2 hexes away from the Americans. I'm assuming they're going to go into 3220, but it's up to you.
Yeah. We'll
if they go into 3221, somebody has to die because now there's a stacking problem.
Yeah. So 3220. That sounds good.
You're back in column formation and you're considered routed. All right, cool. Does the officer route with them? That's also up to you.
Yes, he will.
The officer only gets that choice when the hex is empty. If the officer looks around, he's literally the only man standing in that part of the battlefield. Then he can leave. In early playtesting, we just way too many officers were being captured that way because then I literally just moved 1 unit in there and kaboom, I've just captured an officer. Okay, so is that going to be it for gunfire? Because I want to charge as well. Okay, these 2 guys... Oh, they're too far away. They have no long-range attack. Do I want to fire these guys? Survey says yes. But I want to charge into that building. I want that stone building. So I can't fire them if I want to charge. Will then therefore fire these guys. They also have militia. Damn it. Militia, you'll notice, have no long-range fire. A lot of shotguns and not very well trained. I have my riflemen in there, which are nothing but long-range fire. But notice the long-range fire on those militia are 0. So, yeah, the American Army and the American Revolution is not all that. Now here, in case anyone's wondering, like this 3rd battery of artillery that fired before, notice the Americans are now closer to the target than to the guns. So that angle is too shallow. That gunner does not want to fire over his own men. Like firing into that stone building is definitely a no-no because there's Americans right in front of it. So you're allowed to fire artillery over to your own troops if you're on elevated ground, which they are, and if the intervening friendly troops are closer to you or equal to, like if it's exactly 6 hexes, you're exactly 3 hexes away. In other words, they can't be closer to the enemy than to your guns. That's what kind of determines how shallow that angle is. That's an old Panzerblitz rule. Sort of. Alright, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and shoot. I got 2 points here, so this unit's going to shoot. This unit can't. These guys are in range, not in range, and they're also still in column formation. So he gets 2 dice at long range. -1 for rifle, -1 for commander, -1 for being shaken, +1 for building. So again, +2 is my total. Fusiliers, however, 3, so basically I need 1s. American riflemen do have a rule where they can deliberately target German officers or Crown officers if they want. They're not doing that. They are going to shoot into this unit, the Fusiliers, instead. And I'm going to declare that ahead of time this time. Also, there's only 1 real unit in there. So 2 dice against them. They're already shaken. Again with the damn music box. Alright, they're already shaken. 3 and a 6. They're now routed, destroyed. In place. They're gone. Cool. I think that's it for my direct fire. Everybody else is either too far away or... yeah, they have other plans. Okay, cool. So, assess modifiers, repeat stuff. Okay, continuing ongoing melees. There aren't any Patriot Riflemen versus Crown Officers. I decided not to use that rule. Incremental commander losses. So, incremental commander, I should say incidental commander losses, sorry. So, again, American Riflemen are allowed to, if they want, just straight out brain out a Crown Officer. That's their attack. So they don't get to attack enemy units when they do that. I've obviously attacked an enemy unit, so he's not going to use that role. However, both sides get what's called incidental commander losses. This is just musket balls are flying around and somebody got hit. And that's you inventory all of your commanders and you see who is in range of a non-artillery unit. So Johann Rahl definitely applies. I think that's it. He's out of range of every continental unit. He's out of range and also line of sight blocks. Basically, there's no way that Schleifer here could get shot. Johann Rahl could. I'm going to go ahead and roll 2d6. Boxcar says he's wounded. Snake Eyes says he's killed. Again, it's kind of rare, but every once in a while, yeah, like there's, I mean, Dylan will tell you, you'll be in the middle of a battle and then something, Colonel so-and-so just tumbled out of his horse. No
all
fire.
the time.
Yeah. So it usually happens like once a game. Alright, so that's going to be it for fire phase. Now go to movement phase. Use all movements. Now you're not allowed to move and fire in the same turn, so these guys that have fired obviously are not moving. Alright, so let me go ahead and start my movement. Okay, this is probably a bad move, but I'm going to do it anyway. Boom. Captured Johann Rahl. That's the end of him. The reason that's kind of a bad move is now this guy has to charge into that hex unsupported. Green is going with him, however. They both have the same resilience, so no activation, no charge activation roll is required. However, this Fusilier unit does get... oh no, he's still in line formation. Never mind. Cool. He doesn't have opportunity fire. Normally that would be kind of a deadly move. We're going to go ahead and charge in there. More movement. The Americans have almost like too many commanders. Glover even said so in his journal. He's like, Jesus, that's all we need is because he was only a colonel. Washington kept trying to promote him to general. He's like, that's all we need is another general. You know what we need? A few thousand more privates. And he wasn't wrong. Alright, in line formation, that cost me another movement point to cross the creek, so I'm not going to do that yet, obviously. 1, 2, 3, 4, Being a... Whoa! Yeah, he's still out of range, so that's fine. Mercer, you're getting crazy. Mercer, great general, Washington's literal best friend. He dies like 10 days from now at the Battle of Princeton. Spoiler alert. 1, 2, 3, 4. These guys are in line formation, so they have the 2 movement rate. Gonna get around the side of those guys. Now, I'm not allowed to do like this, but obviously I'm facing 2 hex sides, so you're allowed to oblique one way or the other. In fact, geometrically speaking, you have to. You can't move straight forward, now you're in 2 hexes. Oof. They're gonna stay up top. Oh god, those are raw militia too? Oh my god. Nope, they're staying out of range.
I wouldn't do that.
They're staying out of range. They're staying out of range. I get a bonus for you shooting uphill, but no. Oh my god, well, yeah, raw militia, he's gonna pivot and probably shoot at me next turn, but that's okay.
Oh, well, that whole flank is pretty much raw militia.
Well, they're all mixed, so yeah, there's a raw militia there, there's a raw militia here. There's 1 raw militia. Yeah, there's some raw, there's also veteran militia.
Oh yeah, yep, cool.
The problem is they're still in column formation. And that would be coming in kind of on their flank, so let me not do that. Oh no, they're in line. Yeah, they are still in column. What the hell am I doing? Sorry. 1, 2. Nope, I'm not opening up my flank to German cannon fire. I just gotta be patient. Be patient. You're still in column. These guys are in line. Units can sidestep 1 hex if that's all they do. Those are Continental regulars, hell yeah. Too bad they're in the wrong formation. You know what I really need? I need a decent commander over there. Sterling. What is general movement? Move at 6 X's. They move 2 X's, spend on a road. Difficult terrain except woods. That's really as far as they can get. Yeah, I'm leaving these raw militia in the back. I can't remember where the hell they were. 3, 9, 1, 2, they're going to backstep 1. Continentals on high ground, Continentals on high ground. Veteran militia on the flank. He has to shoot through his own troops, plus the buildings kind of block his line of sight a little bit there. Yeah, I'm being very, very cagey and very careful on this flank. I have no +1 commanders in Sullivan's whole army? Holy crap. Well, I did say they were kind of the dumbasses. They weren't. Just Sullivan was not exactly a tactical mastermind. Okay, cool. So that'll be that. There is some charge action going on here. You got some horrific penalties, but you do get to fight back a little. Just, it won't be very good. Okay, so, because yeah, you're still technically shaken and you're still in column formation. Because you're basically still, you're literally just waking up out of the bed. I was saying before, historically, some of those guys were bayoneted in their bed. Or at least like while they were still trying to put their boots on. The only way you can break up... Okay, that's continuing melees. To execute a charge, you in the same unit. Stacking limits are only 2 units per side. Defending unit, well, you can't take interruption fire. If the unit chose not to take interruption fire, this counter melee attack is assessed simultaneously against the charging unit. This can make units with good melee scores, yeah, Hessian Grenadiers, very dangerous to charge. Shaken or routed units against both targets are assessed immediately. Okay. So, back here to the actual game board. Okay, attack does not include artillery, no riflemen, target is shaken, -1. Infantry on charge, -2. Cavalry on charge, yes. If a commander accompanying the charge is stacked with the units, yes, he's going in there with him, -3. The unit is not in valid command radius. Okay, you are braced, you are in light town, so +1. Yeah, we're back down to +2. Cool. Alright, so it's going to be a grand total of... Alright, you get to roll... so Fusiliers, they have a 2 in their melee attack. They get to roll 2 dice. However, I am now in a... Oh, stone building. So actually now it's going to be a 3-up. You have no commander. You're not in a charge. I have +1 to my resilience. I have +2 to resilience because I'm in a stone building with you. So 3 becomes a 4 or 5. For the building becomes a 6. Basically, you have to get a 6 or above. A 6 always a hit, anyway, and a 1 is always a miss. So you have 2 dice, Fusiliers. Again, this is a very uneven battle. 2 dice for the Fusiliers, but they do get to swing back a little bit as I literally kick the door in St. Michael's Church and wake you up. I guess they're sleeping in the pews. And they start having a bayonet battle while you're literally half-dressed. So 2 dice, you're trying to get a 6.
2 3s.
Okay, so no damage to my Continental Regulars. Continental Regulars go in there with 2 dice as well. Again, -1. They apply a bonus against your resilience. First of all, hold on, turn on the dice cam so we can see it. You get 2 for being in a stone building. You're in a stone building as well. -1 for my commander, -1 for infantry on a charge, -1 because you're considered shaken. So it comes out to basically a total of -1. Your resilience is now a 2 instead of a 3 is the total modifier. Again, that stone building, I should have gone in there with 2 units, but I couldn't pass up the chance to get Rawl out of there. The one benefit I have is that you are already considered shaken. 3 and a 6. That is... I have to... Your resilience is a 3. So yes, that's 2 hits. Right? Yes. No. Yeah, the resilience was a 3.
Yeah, it goes down to a 2, so
yeah.
2 hits, yep.
Cool. So he is destroyed. Alrighty. Here, these guys are even in worse shape, but they still get their 2 dice. I'm only in wooden buildings, so you only need a 5-up. And are you going after the Continentals or the veteran militia?
I'll go after the militia.
Okay, they have the same resilience, and the Continentals have a slightly better attack at longer range.
Sorry, yeah. Continentals then.
All right.
6 and a 4.
Ooh, okay, they are shaken. All right, this is all simultaneous, so I still get my attack, but afterwards I have to fall back out of the hex. And luckily, I did not overstack my artillery this time. Do you remember that game where I screwed up the way I set up my artillery? I called it a stampede among my horses. That was embarrassing. I actually almost did that. I won't lie. This veteran militia in here by himself, that's by accident. I just said, oh my god, did I overstack my second echelon again? Oh no. Okay, so I get 4 dice because I got 2 guys in there. Again, your resilience is, I think, down to a 1 because you're in wooden buildings instead of stone.
Yep.
So basically, I need 2 ups, I get 4 dice. I need at least 2 successes. Pretty sure those Fusiliers are toast. Oh, hell yeah, they're very, very good. Yeah, that's pretty much the end of the Lostbrook Fusiliers. Now, after any melee, even if you win, you're considered shaken. Because, again, you literally just got done with a bayonet battle, so there's like, disorganized, the sergeants are trying to shout the men back into line. So these guys are considered shaken. They're going to rally almost immediately because General Nathaniel Greene is literally in the hex with them. These guys are considered shaken. These guys are considered shaken, but they were shaken by the Hessians. They have to fall back out of that hex. That is the end of that little fracas there. That concludes my movement phase. Where does it? Damn it. Yeah, I moved everybody. Sorry. Okay, I just want to make sure I remembered to move my left wing there. Oh, cool. All right. Oh crap, we forgot to do. During your turn, you know what we forgot to do? Incidental fire. But I'm pretty sure everybody was out of range anyway. All right. Incidental commander losses. All right. Incidental commander losses. I don't think any of your guys are in range.
No, I don't think so.
Well, he's in range, but you have to shoot through a stone building hex, so no. Actually, he's technically, it scrapes by. Yeah, this guy's got to roll. So let me roll for him super fast. Get that out of there. So have no effect.
What about the one with the routed unit?
I don't. Oh yeah, because there's a shaken unit, and he is shooting across this little field here. Yep, Sheffer is in range and line of sight of that those shaking Continentals. Snake eyes.
Oh.
Sorry. Boom.
No, he's in the routed unit anyway.
Popped. Wow, that was pretty awesome. And Von Deckau as well.
Yeah, he's there with the shaken unit. Yep.
He's fine. Okay, that will conclude the American, except for rallies. Oh, turn sequence, sorry. Conduct charges, rally. Alright, so to rally I have to roll 1 dice on or under their resilience. +1 for any commander bonuses. So his resilience is a 3. He's with a +1 commander. His resilience is now basically a 4. On or better. 4, he barely made it. He's no longer shaken. Basically, yeah, they got disorganized, charging into St. Michael's Church, and Nathaniel Greene has pretty much, put order back in place. This guy, same thing, except he has no commander. Greene is too far away. Shaken, yeah, +0 for the commander, so he has to make it on his own. He has to get a 3 or less, instead of a 4 or less. Shit, he made it.
Oh, nice.
This guy gets a +1 bonus because he is next to Washington himself. Literally George Washington. Where's a $1 bill? George Washington's like, guys, I don't want to hear it. You ran away from those Lossburg Fusiliers. Trust me, they're running away from you. What the hell's the matter with you guys? Oh, hell yeah. That's literally a Washington rally check. Washington, again, not the greatest tactical genius. One thing that dude had, man, he showed up, and one guy, I can't remember who it was. I think it was Marquis de Lafayette, said he could arrest fortune with a glance. When he showed up, time literally stopped, or at least it seemed to. He just, men just loved him for some reason. He was just one of those guys. He walked into a room, he took up the whole room. So we should have like a special rule where he gets like a +2. He only got +1 for tactical reasons, but +2 for rallies. All right, that concludes the American turn. Sorry. It is now the Hessian turn.
Okay.
So first thing we do is change formation.
Yep. Firstly, the only thing I'm really going to do is unlimber the artillery.
Okay.
And facing northwest, I suppose.
Guns are ready. Now their line of fire, or I should say their arc of fire, is rather limited because they got buildings on either side. From the center of their hex, their line of fire is basically that, but the range is 6.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Let me get that text out of the way, because these hexes are going to become kind of important. Okay, now we do movement phase. Or actually, I'm sorry. Now we do. Let me look up one rule. This is going to be important.
Yeah, can I pivot and fire? I think it's going to be.
Yeah. I did have a rule for that. Units in line formation can move a number of hexes, and they can move forward through the hex. They can backstep or sidestep if that's all they do. Cannot be combined with forward movement. They can change facing left or right oblique by 1 hex side if that is, once a turn at no movement cost. This does not count as a move if that's all they do. I.e., they can do this even if they fired earlier in the turn.
Yeah, so they'll be after firing, so they couldn't do it before.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I was a little afraid of. These guys are you talking about these guys right here?
I assume a little lag.
Oh, sorry. In the stone barracks.
The guys in the stone barracks,
yeah. Yeah. So they can pivot if that's all they do after they fire. Once we get to the movement phase. Right now they're still in the fire phase. The veteran militia in 3821 is in their gun sight. Their forward arc is very clear. These 2 hex sides.
Yeah.
So they still do have a target. This is kind of what I was afraid of.
As long as they're not getting shot in the side, I'll be all right.
Yeah. Next turn. Now they can pivot at the end of the turn. So by the time my turn comes around again, no, I won't be hitting you in the flank.
Yeah, that's all good. So in that case.
Of course, any unit that fires can't move, again, unless you pivot 1 hex only. That's like free movement.
Yeah.
Alright, so who is...
We'll start with... let's start with those grenadiers in the stone barracks.
Kaboom! Oh, wait, what am I doing? Get my gunfire track going. There you go. We got musket smoke on the battlefield now. We gotta have some... effective or some appropriate music there going. Okay, I will catch up with the chat in just a second once I get through. Poor Dylan here has waited for a fire phase long enough. Let me get through this fire phase and I'll catch up on the chat. Okay, so Grenadiers, you've got 2 companies in the stone barracks. They have actually a couple targets if they want, but the ones that are close are those veteran militia.
Yeah, I'll be going for the veteran militia.
Okay, you got a total of 4 dice. If both companies are firing, 4 dice.
Yep.
No penalties. You're looking
for
3 ups. Yeah, you have to beat a 3. Yeah.
So a 5 and a 3 on the first one, so one beat.
That's 1.
And a 5 and a 3 on the second one, so that's 2.
Oof, that is routed. That was close. Cool. Alright. Next unit to fire.
We'll just go left to right, so I'll do the artillery next.
Okay.
At the 2 units of Continentals on the hill there.
Okay, -1, or a 1 dice bonus, or a +1 bonus whenever you have artillery. Artillery is just scary. Troops get scared when they hear guns firing. When I say guns, I mean like 6-pounders. +1 bonus to me for I'm on high ground. You're talking about 38, 20?
Yep.
Alright, cool. Yeah, so you're shooting uphill, which is never good with black powder weapons. So it's, yeah, +1, -1. At this range, you're at long range. It's 1 dice per battery. You got 2 total dice. They're both Continentals. So are you shooting at the 2 Continental companies, or are you concentrating on 1?
1 on each, yes, sir.
Oh, 1 on each. Okay, so cool. So just roll 2 dice, and yeah, we'll apply the effects separately.
So the first one, so the one on the left, a 5, and the one on the right,
Shaken.
a 5.
Both shaken. And here's where I literally just lost the game.
Ow.
Yep, Hessians win.
Can't you ship?
I have to go backwards 1 hex. And they both have to. So no matter what I do, he's overstacked.
Right to their left?
They can't you can't go shaking sideways. You have to go back into one of these 2 hexes. I told you this game was tough for the Americans. First of all, ungroup. Stop it with that grouping. Again, I've played this game at least 4 or 5 times, and I haven't won with the Americans yet. At least not according to the victory conditions. But that's cool. Alright, so these guys fall back into that hex. These guys fall back into this hex. Because I'd rather lose raw militia for sure. And I'd rather lose veteran militia than more Continental regulars. It's because I wasn't careful in how I set up. This game is brutal, and it's, again, trying to be. When it comes to, oh, damn it, formation and so on. And that's just a stacking problem there. Damn it. Oh, well. Oh, and they're routed. Which means they're in column formation.
No, they should only be shaken, I think. Not.
Oh, that's right. We said that, didn't we?
Yeah, they're only shaken.
The routed unit just got smashed off the map by, that's right, by the stacking problem. Yeah, so that's me just choosing. I have to lose somebody, and I'm choosing to preserve my best units. Cool. That's me being impatient. I was trying to pile up a lot of firepower as quickly as I could against the Hessian left, and yeah, I paid for it. Alright. Through another stupid stacking violation. Ugh. No worries. Okay, other fire? Then again, I pretty much just wiped out the Lossberg regiment in like 1 or 2 die rolls, so I'm certainly not going to complain.
Yeah, you've captured or killed half of my senior command, and a good chunk of a regiment. So.
I think the only ones left are these 2 routed guys, and there's no commander left for them, so I'm pretty sure I wiped out Lossberg, that regiment. Unfortunately for me, now it's going to turn into a street battle, and again, I don't really care because I've already lost, but no worries. Yeah, now it's going to get nasty. Okay, I'm not sure who else might be in. Oh, yeah, I take that back. You've got some guys in range.
Yeah, I've got the guys who can fire at St. Michael's.
Yep. You got actually a bunch of guys that can fire at St. Michael's.
I'll do all 3 of them. So all 3 companies there.
All right, cool. The good news for me is I'm stacked with a general, and I'm in a stone building, so my resilience goes up by 3. 2 for the building, 1 for the general. My resilience is now a 6. Basically, you need a 6 to hit. You have a total of 3 dice.
The first 2 dice, 1 and a 2, and a 6.
Oh, he is shaking. Where you going? Damn you! He's in line. I'm making sure no one else can reach that church.
Yeah.
All right.
No one else can get there. Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Green will stay there. Damn you! Get back here! He's literally standing in the pulpit, pounding at us. Get your asses back in here! Actually, I'm going to take that back, because you know what's coming up soon? Incidental fire. I'm going to be a little cheesy. I basically just lost the game on a technicality, so I'm going to play some technicalities.
Yep.
Alright, any other fire, or I think that's it?
I think that's all I can do.
Alrighty. So now we're going to go to American... Oh, no, sorry, we're going to finish up incidental fire phase. Non-artillery commanders. Or commanders in line of sight of non-artillery Hessian fire.
I don't think there are any.
Well, we got the Jaegers. I always got to keep an eye on the Jaegers. The Jaegers have a 3. 1, 2, 3... Okay, making sure. Alright,
Yep.
cool. We'll then go to movement phase. If anyone wants to move.
Yep. The guys in the stone barracks will do that pivot.
Oh, that's right. Both of them or just one?
Both will do the pivot. Oh, actually, yeah, they'll both do it. They'll both do it.
Okay. And technically these routed guys automatically go back 2 hexes.
Yep.
Alright. Anyone else moving? Your Jaegers or your last 2 companies of Grenadiers? Or those 2 companies of Fusiliers? Basically anyone who didn't fire is able to
Yep.
move if they want.
The 2 companies will stay where they are. Both of them.
Alright.
The one company that did fire is going to pivot to the northeast.
This one here?
Sure. It's like a really, really bad refused flank type thing, I suppose.
Technically, yeah, he is guarding the Hessian right there, but he's feeling a little lonely out there.
And the Jaegers, if they move, they're going to be tying people up. Actually, they'll move into 3623 behind the stone barracks there.
38-23. Okay, they're not
38,
actually able to do that in one turn because they're in line formation.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so they can pretty much backstep 1 hex. They can get started.
Yep, that's all right. Oh.
All right.
And if they can, they face the northwest. Can they do that?
Actually, no.
No. Okay, all good.
They're basically going to sidestep. Yeah, next turn, what they can do is that they can pivot 1 and then move into 38-23.
Yeah, that works. You won't be able to get there in time, so.
Well, not with any kind of effective force. But I've already screwed the pooch over here. I knew Sullivan was a dumbass. I told you before. Okay, so that will... we have one last thing to do. We're going to try and rally these 2 clowns over here. The problem is they have no commanders in range. So, yeah, they're pretty much toast. The range of a commander is that second number. So they have a range of 2 hexes. All these, like, random German colonels.
Yep.
Rahl was the guy who had a decent range, and I made sure to take him out early on. So there's literally nobody to rally him. In order to make a rally check, you have to have an officer in range. So they're literally, I think they're pretty much out of the battle.
Yeah, they're pretty much gone.
Alright. Cool. Well, I can go ahead and take Rahl off the map. Who's your senior commander now? It would be, actually, the only regimental commander you have, technically, is Deck now. Damn it. Not that it super matters, but just for fun. Alrighty, that will conclude, therefore, the Hessian turn. We'll start turn 5, and then I will catch up on the chat as promised. Okay, what's going on here? In Mr. Chat. Oh, man, there's a lot going on here. Okay, yeah, Ben says he's talking about the Buffalo Bills. Thank you, they have sucked for a long time. Well, Ben, that's what happens to loyal fans. Sooner or later, it might take a couple years, or a couple decades, or for some baseball teams, a couple centuries. But eventually, the wheel turns around, and things actually become a little bit better. Yeah, we already talked about Ancients, Napoleonics, and the Emu War. I figured that would be a fantastic scenario for newbies. The Emu War, that's pretty asymmetrical. Might be cool. No, he's not kidding. He says about 30 figures should do. I'm assuming he's still talking about emus. You only need 2 soldiers and an officer. And an old truck. Is that all it was? It was like literally 3 guys in a truck? Dylan, do you know?
Yeah, 2 guys with Lewis guns and an officer in an old truck.
They had Lewis guns? Come on now. That's like one of the better weapons of the day.
Emus are hard. They run really fast.
Emus are hard, man. The Australian guy gets all defensive. He's like, hey, dude, emus are badass, man. They're like Soviet Guard infantry, man. Don't mess around with emus.
At least they're not cassowaries. They don't fight you back. At least they just run. That's it.
Don't pull that geometry stuff on us. Yeah, roused. Yeah, I meant to say like roused out of their bed. You guys know what I meant. Talking about the Hessians earlier. Vorpalbite says, break out the miniatures table. Let's create an actual line of sight. I do actually have Hessians in 20mm. I have about 80 Hessians in 20mm and about 120 Americans, either Continentals or Militia in 20mm. One of these days I will have to set up some... I've done Revolutionary Wargaming, published it a couple times on tabletop. A couple American Revolution article series. I've got Vietnam on my game table, says Warplebyte. This week I added a dollhouse and recreated the Michelin rubber plantation. Oh, cool. Yeah, so those rubber plantations, that's the kind of stuff you see in 3-Corps sector, mostly in the south. Also, I'm down, since Dylan's with us, a lot of the ANZAC troops. In fact, didn't you fight a Valor and Victory game, Dylan, in a rubber plantation at one point?
I think so. I think we did like a Nui type thing, but I don't know if it was exactly that. But yeah, Australia's most famous thing is in rubber.
Yeah, to actually...
At least over here it is. Yeah.
To rescue that, like a downed helicopter. That's the game where there was a Centurion tank on the board.
That's right. Yeah.
And I almost blew one of its wheels off with an RPG. But almost. Then that Centurion sort of swiveled its turret around, and that was the end of that discussion. Americans occupy the second story, but hardcore NVA are broken into the ground floor. Oh, so you're like in room-to-room battles. That's going to be badass. Ben Johnson says, that's the dude that Mercer County is named after. Yeah, John Mercer. I think his first name was John. Actually a doctor before the war. Physician. He was pretty much the closest thing. He commanded a brigade of troops here at Trenton in the Continental Army in '76. He was also the closest thing Washington had to any kind of medical officer, to my knowledge. And again, yeah, personally speaking, he's pretty much regarded as Washington's best friend, at least until Lafayette shows up. But of course, Mercer dies before Lafayette shows up. So those two never met. Yeah, I'm actually a pretty good general too. Was Mercer. Okay, let's see what else is going on here. Oh, Rasmus is with us. Rasmus, hello, welcome to the chat. Sorry guys, my Twitch crashed. YouTube seems fine though. Uh-oh. Twitch has crashed? That's not good. Let's see what's going on here in Twitch.
We're still on Twitch.
We are still on Twitch? Okay, cool, no worries. Yeah, we're fine on YouTube. It looks like Twitch is rebooting. There may have been a temporary issue with Twitch. But either way, we are recording on YouTube, so all is well. Yeah, if we crash on Twitch, we seem to have come back. Or at least I hope so. Now Twitch is just trying to buffer a little bit. Because science teacher, thank you for the resubscription. It was probably just mine. Okay, cool. No worries. Alright, cool. So now we begin American turn 5. Again, I'm pretty much going to win the battle, but technically I've already lost the game. But that's okay. We're still going to shoot some more. So first thing I gotta do is change formation for anybody that wants to change formation. Yes, literally everyone needs to change formation. Okay, that will be it for my changing formation. We'll now go to fire, which there will be a little of. I've got 2 point blank points and 1 point from these continentals up here. Total of 3 points. They do include elevated fire, so I get -1 for that, +2 to your resilience for stone buildings. So your resilience is now a 5. I have to get a 5 or better. What are the rules? Make sure I'm doing this right. Roll the appropriate number of dice. I guess any that meets or exceeds the target number is a hit. Alright. So basically, your 4s drop down to a 3, and then go up 2 to a 5. And 2 for your stone building. That's these 2 units combining together. Alright, so we're in total of 3 dice. I need a 5 up.
Yep.
I need as many 5 ups as I can, is what I should say. Come on, give me a Christmas present, Mr. Dice. You gave me no Christmas presents. That's another 4 in the corner there.
Oh.
So, yep, we fired and literally did nothing. That's okay, a lot of friends are coming to help. Alrighty. Other fire. Let me see here. A lot of other people are too far away. Also, they're behind the ledge of the hill, so they can't hit. My riflemen are still too far away. Alright, cool. I think it's going to be it for my fire. There's not a lot of fire yet. I've wiped out Lossburg, so now I have to kind of redeploy a little bit to re-engage the Hessian line. Alright, cool. Let's start with movement. One, two, one to actually make the facing change. 1, 2. These guys are immediately moving, obviously. 1, 2. Those are all continentals. Damn Hessian artillery. One, two. I'm going to be a little less careful with these raw militia now that I've already lost a unit. Oh crap, I just moved somebody who was shaken, didn't I? Yeah, I just screwed that up. The Ys that were in, the 2 Continentals that were in 3819, that was an illegal move. They're allowed to move, they're just not allowed to move closer to the enemy until they are not shaken anymore. Hopefully Sterling will be able to rally them shortly. Put Sterling right there. That way that +1 is for all adjacent hexes. For both rallies and resilience. Glover, where are your friggin' marble headers? Just get down there because... Okay, I think that was it for my movement. These riflemen never moved. Shit. Those guys I definitely want to move. Alright, that will wrap things up for my movement. Crap, before I moved, you know what, there was nobody within range for incidental fire. Or was there? Beginning of my movement... Technically he is... Except I can't shoot through a stone building, never mind. No. You only got 2 commanders left, I think. Cool, alright, never mind. Alright, so I skipped over incidental commander damage, but it doesn't matter. And I've done my movement phase. Now I'm going to do my rally phase. Unless you wanted to take any opportunity fire.
No, I'm all good.
Okay. Okay, so their resilience is a 3. I'm trying to beat 3, get a 3 or less. They are stacked with the commander, so they get St. Clair's bonus, or sorry, Lord Sterling's bonus. So basically I need 2 4s on these 2 continental companies. 1 succeeds, 1 does not. So no, that guy's only shaken. Alright, oh, I never moved these guys. So when they were in 35-17, I just turned this guy that way and this guy south. I'm trying not to double up my second line again like I always do. And I call stacking problems. Alright, that'll conclude my movement. And I've already done my... oh, no, I didn't. Alright, so I have 1 more rally to make. Again,
and the officer back there that was with the artillery.
Oh, yeah, he's... Come on, Knox. Again, get your fat ass up here. Washington, or Green is trying to rally those guys who got routed or shaken out of this Michael's Church. He succeeds. Alright, cool. Now I am done with my turn. We go over to Hessian turn 5, and I will check out Mr. Chat. YouTube seems fine. It was probably just mine. Okay, no worries. Anything going on in Mr. Twitch? Oh, hello. Yes, Bill is with us. I just received Ultra Combat Modern book and cards. I'll be taking a look at that. I also have Victory C to finish. Oh, cool. Victory at Sea, I should say. That's in response to Vorpalbite's question. So Vorpalbite's asking, hey guys, share what's on your gaming table. What's on my gaming table right now, I mean, besides this, obviously, on my actual physical gaming table, is Battle of Kuwait International Airport, 27 February 1991. That is Task Force Ripper. That's a Marine Corps temporary task force assembled from units of 3rd Marine Tank Battalion and 7th Marines Regiment, 2nd Marine Division. And they were engaged against a whole bunch of people. I mean, that was a serious, serious battle. The Army was in there helping. That is the Tiger Brigade of 2nd U.S. Armored Division, a very famous outfit. And the Stalwart and Steady Brigade, I think also of... actually, I don't know where they were from. I'll have to look that up. What division? It's either 1st U.S. Infantry or 2nd Armored as well. So it's actually not a Marine Corps battle, it's a Marine Army battle against, good God, I think it's like 12 Iraqi divisions, or the fragments thereof. One of the last big shootouts of the Gulf War. That's what's on my table right now. In 15 millimeter, it's set up. I'm still not 100% sure what system I'm going to use. Probably a kit bash version of either Team Yankee or, you know what I might try? I might try a modified version of either Battle Group or Northag, even though it's not quite the right scale for Northag. Northag is mostly for 10 millimeter, but who knows. And that's what's on my thing for the whatchamacallit. Well, what else is going on here? Meanwhile, Bill says, I just received, the Ultra Combat Modern book and cards. Taking a look at that. Also, a Victory at Sea to finish. That's from Warlord Games, I believe. Cool. And
they got the rights from the company who had it before and republished it.
Oh, cool. I also ordered the starter bundle for Warlord Games ACW. Oh, American Civil War. So I have some more black powder. Nice.
15 mil American Civil War plastics. Looks good.
Oh, that's actually pretty neat. 15? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, in strips like a 6 mil, but 15 mil. So.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of black powder is in 28 mil these days. I don't understand what the hell. I mean, I guess you can do skirmish stuff like muskets and tomahawks, but other than that, sharps practice, but you can't really do any real battles with 28 mil and black powder. You need like 1,000 guys.
Yeah.
Whatever. I do like your ACW. I think it's American Civil War. You're doing in 6 mil. Dylan, are you still working on that?
Yep. That's been put a little bit in the back burner because I got that decided to do all of Austerlitz and Marengo in 6 mil with my Napoleonic stuff too. So
all of Austerlitz in 6 mil. You're gonna be at this till like 4 Christmases from now.
Well, I have until December 3rd next year or something like that.
Oh my lord.
But no, the ACW, I got 20 infantry brigades each side, 10 or so cavalry. It's coming along good.
Tell me there's some sort of a scale to that game. Like each figure is like, 100 or something.
For the Austerlitz one, each stand is a division. So.
Oh, okay, cool. I was gonna say.
100 figures to a division, something.
Yeah, you'd be looking at. Good grief, man. Even that's gonna be a hell of a challenge. But Austerlitz was big. What was it, like 200,000, 250,000 people at Austerlitz?
It was a big one, yeah. I'm not sure the exact, but it was up there.
Alrighty, so cool. Over to your turn for change formation if you want.
I don't think I will.
Okay, fire phase.
I think I will.
Yeah, I think you will too. Okay, so we're going to start with, again, those 2 Grenadier companies there on the side.
Yep.
They have an embarrassment of riches. They have like 6, 7 figures in their line of sight. They have all kinds of stuff they can shoot at.
They'll go for the Continentals and the Veteran Militia on the left.
Okay.
So, 1 to the Continentals, 1 to the...
Okay, my resilience does go to a 4 because I have Sterling right behind me with a +1. So if you have good leaders behind you, the unit stays together psychologically. So you need to get a 4 or better on on 1D. Well, roll for the Continentals first. You need 1D6. You need to get a 4 or better.
5.
Cool. He is shaken. He is going to back up 1 hex and he can do it this time. Okay, and then the Grenadiers are also going to fire at the veteran militia. Same deal.
Yep. 3. So
they Sterling survived, so that would have broken them, or shaken them, I should say. Except Sterling's like, no, boys, stand fast. When you got a crazy Scotsman behind you with a sword, yeah, you tend to be less afraid of the Germans. Okay, other fire.
The Grenadiers there, can they fire at the... Yeah, they can fire at the guys in 38-21, can they?
These guys, no. They're too far. Yeah,
they're too far out.
Yeah, they're on their arc. They have range, and they have line of sight. They see them. But again, their fire arc or their 2 forward hexes, so it's pretty much like that.
Yeah.
Or technically like that.
All good. I'll just shoot them with artillery.
Okay, artillery can shoot at 38-21 totally. Again, +1, -1, 1 dice each battery.
Okay, 1 on each. So the Continental. 4.
That just shakes them. Now they're both shaking.
Veteran militia.
Yep.
6.
Oof. They're definitely shaking. Alright. Good shooting. Okay, any other fire? I think you've got a little over here. Like literally 2 guys. The Fusiliers have range on your wing. They're just blocked by a bunch of buildings. And the guys on your right, those are the guys on your right. The guys on your left are out of range. But the guys in the center can, again, shoot into St. Michael's Church. They're they have to literally roll 6s.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be doing any shooting on this side.
Okay, cool. Alright, so now we go to movement phase.
Yep.
Okay. So these guys can't move unless they want to pivot 1 hex?
No, they'll stay where they are.
Okay, the Jaegers, I know how to plan.
Yep. Yeah, they're going to go into 38-23 into those buildings there.
Okay,
so they'll pivot and then move.
That's 1 movement point, their 2nd movement point.
Yep.
Cool. Alright, these 2 guys, any movement? Or no?
No, I'll leave them where they are.
Alright, these 2?
2 Grenadiers there.
Yeah.
Yep, they'll move back. They'll move 1 square back.
Clunk.
Oh, 1 hex back, sorry.
Yep. Okay, these 2?
Yep, same with them as well.
Oh, look at this. He knew it was coming.
I don't want to keep fighting it for that damn church. That's
Alright, and then these Fusiliers, like, hey guys, where's everyone going?
They'll move sideways to the hex that says Presbyterian Church. And then...
if they sidestep, that's all I can do.
Yeah, that's all. And if it's possible, can I move... What's the name of the Grenadier officer again? I can't...
Von Dechau.
No,
the
other
Grenadier.
one.
Oh, down here, Bethar. Yeah, he has a movement of 6.
Yeah, I'll move him into the stone barracks, just to...
Alrighty. That's it for your movement phase. What we should have done before, I keep forgetting to do this, is incidental fire. I do have Glover and Sterling. So roll 2 dice for Glover and 2 dice for Sterling.
Okay. For Glover, 6.
Oh.
Sterling, 11.
Oh, that was for 2 dice. Ooh, Sterling, close. That bullet whizzed, shot his hat off. Before you moved, because again I did wrong, you did have guys in this 34-21. Washington, roll 2 dice for Washington.
Oh, okay.
In all fairness.
8.
Oof. Dude, if Washington gets shot, I have had Washington killed in these games before. That's less than fun. Okay, cool. That will be Rallies. You have no rallies. I think we're done with your turn. Yeah, these guys are pretty much out of here. I don't think you're going to send an officer back after them. You've only got 2.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. No.
In fact, is everybody even in command radius? Do me a favor, just move Deck out to that hex. Oh no, he's fine. Sure. He's fine. 1, 2. Everybody's in command radius. I knocked down 1 more officer, and half of his army falls apart just from having no commanders. All right, cool. Let me check out Mr. Chat here. Oh no, what's going on here? What's going on? I just ordered the starter bundle for Warlord Games. Okay, got that. Thanks for the inspiration. Rasmus says, in upstate New York, hiding for Christmas. Oh, you're in upstate New York. Nice. Wow, you're like up by Oriskany or Albany or Buffalo. Get a little snow, did you, Rasmus? Says Bill. Oh, hell yeah. Vorpal Bite adds, when I recreate a landing zone X-ray in 28mm, I use 60 soldiers. Real life there were 4,000. I have 1,600 Vietnamese soldiers. I use 200. You've got 200 Vietnamese miniatures in 28mm. I shouldn't say that like with amazement. I have an even 100. I got 2 50 packs. Although albeit, admittedly they are in 15mm, not 28. 50 NVA and 50 Viet Cong. Or NLF if you prefer. Yeah, Bill adds, that's a lot of minis on the table, I'll say. They don't all go at the table at the same time. Alrighty. Rasmus has a foot or 2 of snow. I might be the closest to Trenton. Right now, you almost certainly... no. Actually, yes. I was about to say Ben. Ben is in North Carolina right now. Sorry. Yeah, Ben and I grew up pretty damn close to Trenton. Actually, we grew up in North Jersey. So on this map here, like way back in the 80s, we used to live, let's see, there's Morristown, there's Newark. Alright, Ben, correct me if I'm wrong. We were like right around here somewhere. Maybe a little bit further to the west. We're right around Morristown. Maybe a little bit to the west of Morristown, but we were in this general area. Yeah, no, Trenton isn't exactly North Jersey. It's way down there, but I do remember we used to go a lot of times to, they used to call it Overlook. They have a hospital there now, and it's some high ground right about here, where it's like a cliff, where Washington spent a lot of the winter of 76 to 77, and he could, like a couple of weeks or months after this battle we're doing, and on a clear day you can see New York Harbor. That's only like maybe 20 miles. And again, you're basically on top of this mountain cliff kind of a thing. So on a clear day, Washington was able to see with a good spyglass what the British were doing in New York Harbor. And that site's preserved. It's a pretty cool place to visit. Yeah, his barracks at Morristown is there. I've been there a couple times. Washington's, where that Blue Arrow concludes, where he closes his campaign. Been to those barracks a couple times. Okay, so we're now going to begin, we did Hessian turn 5, right? We're going to start American turn 6?
Yep. Yeah, this is my turn then.
We just took your turn, didn't we?
Yeah, we just had my turn.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so beginning of American turn 6. I will change some... Actually, I don't think I will. Alright, so now we go to gunfire phase. I have quite a bit. At least on one wing. Oh, not as much as I thought. Damn raw militia, you guys suck. Continentals, 1 on the flank. Veteran militia, yes. Continentals. Oh wait, that's veteran militia, never mind. Damn it. Alright, so nothing from him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 for on the flank, 1 for elevated, 1 for Sterling. It's a total of 3. 3 versus Grenadiers. They start with a 4, so it goes down to a 1. 2, back up to a 2 for your stone building. No, 3 because of a stone building. Make sure I did that right. 1 for elevation, 2 for flanking fire, another 1 for Sterling. That's a total of 3. -2 for the stone building, so it's a net -1. Yeah, your new resilience is a 3. I need a 3 up. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dice. These raw militia can't reach, that veteran militia can't reach. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dice, and I am looking for, what did I say, 3 ups? Yes. I am concentrating everything on 1 unit. I gotta blow some of those Grenadiers out of that church. Gotta do it. Dice God, give me a Christmas present. 1, 2, 3. That is 1 unit destroyed in place.
Nice.
That's how we do it. East Coast, bitches. Alright, that's a lot of gunfire, though. That took like 300 guys to do that. We've said it before when we've done Battlefield Rebellion on the stream. Linear warfare is much more of a shoving match than it is, you literally just point your gun and blow people away. It's much more... I'm going to have to charge that church eventually. Okay, meanwhile, I will do other gunfire, except no, I won't, because everyone else has fled. 1, 2, 3, nope, riflemen don't have range. 1, 2, 3, nope, the Hessians all ran away. You had a lot of rifle fire coming at you there in Hunt House, and in 3421 before you fell back, and I was like, damn you! That's okay, I'm about ready to cave in your right wing here, at least a little bit. Okay, so that's going to be it for my gunfire. None of these other guys have range of shit. Alright, let's go to American movement phase, starting from the right. Alright, there's going to be a little bit of opportunity fire here. Ooh. I gotta send in an officer. 1. Where's all my... I have so many damn commanders. 1, 2, 3, 4. The reason he needs an officer is because you'll notice the raw militia, their resilience is less than the target unit. So if you're going to actually send guys, that 2 versus a 3, if you're going to actually do a charge with units that have a lower resilience than than the target unit, you have to either make a resilience check, which means I have to roll a 2 or down on 1d6. Raw militia aren't going to charge trained troops unless the general goes in with them. I have to literally hold their hand and carry them in. Is the only way that's going to happen. Alternatively, I can try to make the roll, but no, that's not a good roll. It's a good idea to always have a charge go in there with the general anyway, because number one, it's just cinematically awesome, and the game rewards you. It does make you, it does give you a +1 to your attack dice. Now, those Fusiliers do see me come in. They do get to shoot at me while I'm still in 3220 if they choose. If they choose. Now, here's the difference. It's kind of a small difference. I'm still pretty sure you're going to take the opportunity fire, but just in case. Alright, so the charge comes in. Okay, I do my bayonet damage. I apply it against you, and then you run away. Or, I'm sorry, and then you do your bayonet damage back at me. That's if you take opportunity fire. If you don't take opportunity fire, that bayonet damage is done simultaneously. Usually, it's literally up to you, whichever way you want to do it. Do you want to shoot at me when I'm in the buildings, or do you want to brawl it out while we're still sitting there in the open? Because honestly, if you wait until, if you take opportunity fire, and you might like shake one of the units or whatever, and that's probably, that'll prevent the rest of the charge from going in, or that'll prevent that unit from charging. Okay, go ahead.
I'll take opportunity fire at the Continentals. Is that the one?
Well, there's Continentals and there's Raw Militia.
Yeah, I'll take it to the Continentals.
Okay, they're in a building and they have a commander with them on a... Oh wait, that's for attack dice. Never mind. It's a 4 up. 2 dice on a 4 up.
Yeah, sorry. Almost struck the dice. A 5 and a 6.
Shit, they're routed. 1, 2. They were all brave and shit, and then they're shooting back at us. Oh my god! Run away! Now, does the charge continue? Yes. Okay, now my bayonet damage happens first.
Yep.
Cool. The problem is these are raw militia. And by that I mean they're terrible. They only have 1 dice in close combat. However, they are infantry on a charge, so your resilience goes down by 1, and they have an officer going in there with them. They have their attack dice go up on 2 for a charge only. So it's going to be a grand total of... you're in the open. So your resilience goes down to a 1. I basically have to roll 1-ups. But again, a 1 is always a failure. This will be a bad time to roll a 1, which means I'm going to roll 1 right now. Oh my god, I called it! Okay,
Oh no.
now now there's a melee, ongoing melee. You did not run away. Those Fusiliers on the flank, they held the line. So now you get 2 dice back against my raw militia, and the resilience is only a 2, but you get 2 dice.
Oh. 3 and a 4.
Those are both successes. They are both routed. Or they are routed. Actually, they're going to go this way.
I don't think that was supposed to happen. I don't think it was.
Nope, that was definitely not supposed to happen. That's what happens when a bad American charge goes in against trained Fusiliers. This is what they were afraid of, man. Hessians were no joke, man. They were pretty good. Again, they weren't really Hessians. There's a whole bunch of myths. They weren't really Hessians, i.e., all from the state of Hesse in Germany. They weren't mercenaries, the way we think of mercenaries today. There's a whole bunch of nonsense going on there.
Oh, it's the same as Napoleonic Wars. They call them Hanoverians.
Even if they weren't all from Hanover?
Yeah, they just call them Hanoverians. Until the military actually formally puts them in a King's German Legion. Yeah, people refer to the actual regiments as Hanoverian regiments.
Okay, other movement. Damn it. Oh crap, I did have... Oh no, they're not in arc. Damn it. I did have 1, 2, 3. No, I didn't. Alright, never mind. Cool. That's actually a good thing. Oof, I'm gonna get pasted. Damn it. This deadly ground is ironically not very deadly. It's the same buildings that are protecting these to a certain extent. Damn it. One of these days I'm going to stop doing that. Grouping units together. Continentals. Cool. Alright, now the point of that whole freaking exercise. Come on, Knox, get your big ass back in the war. We got shit to do. Your damn artillery has been fierce, man. I'm about ready sick and tired of those guys.
Yeah. I was a bit worried about how I was going to use them, but
well, again, the only got now historically they never really got set up. So obviously what happened didn't happen, but they're going to need some resilience. But yeah, they're doing well. Marty kind of found the same thing when he set up his artillery in the Sitrep Cup game. They'll go on like one flank and they'll just like pin down that flank like for a long time. They won't really destroy the enemy, but again, units are constantly being shaken, and then I have to rally them. Then they get shaken again. I have to rally them, then move them back up again. You can just chew up enemy turns with well-placed artillery. Especially when you get both your batteries together. A lot of times I've had them in two ways. Some Hessian batteries pointing north, some batteries pointing northwest or whatever, to kind of fight off both converging columns. It's okay, I guess. Ooh. I can't move these guys right now because they are shaken. I'll put 2 officers here just for insurance. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, 1, 2. Double on road, so 1.5, 2.5, 3.5. Yeah, he's good. Okay, that will be it for my movement phase. I'm going to try to rally some guys. These guys these 2 routed guys are adjacent to a commander, so they do get to rally. 3 or less. The guy there in the north, 2, he succeeds, and by succeeds I mean he is no longer routed, he is now shaken. This guy here, same thing. He's got to roll a 3 or less. 5. He fails, and thereby continues route movement. No, he already moved this turn, so never mind. He moves next turn, but he's still routed. Okay, these guys back here. I was up in the air about what I was going to do with Sterling. You know what? Let me... 1, 2... 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, cool. If I can be cheesy for just a second. I'm trying to get a +1 commander over there. In fact, you know what? Let me not be so cheesy. Sterling, stay with your division. And, where the hell was Green? I just had him. Move Green where Sterling was. Okay, sorry. They need a 4-up. They also need a 4-up, so I need 2 4-ups in there. Or I should say 4 downs. A 5 and a 6, they both failed. Green or Sterling, what are you doing? That was a bad roll. Same with these 2 guys. Okay, they both succeeded. And this last guy here, that was just some crappy dice. Chaos of combat! He's okay. Alright, that will complete my rally phase. The only thing I have to roll now is Incidental Commander, which I should have done at the end of my movement phase. That's why I'm going back to... I'm sorry, at the end of my fire phase. That's why I'm going back to turn 5 to see who was in range. That is, keep forgetting his name, Breath Hour. Okay, Breath Hour, I'm going to roll 2 dice, see what happens with incidental commander fire. Close.
Ooh.
Cool. That will complete American turn 6. Could have been better, but I'm starting to crack those Hessians in the stone barracks. That stone barracks is turning into like Revolutionary War Stalingrad, man. Okay, over to you. Is anyone changing formation?
No one's going to change formation. No.
Fire phase.
Yes, I'll definitely be doing a 5 phase. Now, I could do scraping fire with the artillery, can't I? I can scrape faster. Yep.
Yes. My resilience goes up to a 4 because I have green there. That's why I want a green there.
Yep.
So, for people in the chat, generals get to apply this to their friendly resilience if they are in the same hex or adjacent. You'll notice most commanders have a dash, which is basically +0. So only good commanders, and Nathaniel Green was one of the best. I'm surprised there aren't like aircraft carriers named after him. To be honest, he deserves a lot more credit than he normally gets. Cool. I don't think there's a thing for scraping fire. There's a bonus for it. Oh, if attacking is taking a scrape shot, there is a +1 for that. +1 if attacking is taking a scrape shot. Cool. I thought I had that, but I couldn't remember. All right, so it's +1 for that, and +1 for green if you're shooting at those Continentals there in 3621.
Yeah, so there'll be 5s. How many dice do I get at this range?
At this range, you get 2 per battery.
Okay, cool. So 2 on each.
Okay.
So on the left, 1 and a 5.
Oh, that's 1 shaken.
And on the right, 2 and a 6.
Oh no, they're both shaken. I think I'll put them there. And green will not go with them. Still not worried about them. Slightly worried about him. Washington's there. Yeah, green will stay put.
Okay.
Not worried about these grenadiers charging out and taking him prisoner. First of all, they can't reach him. And second of all, yeah, it's fine.
Yep. Speaking of those grenadiers.
Yep.
They'll fire into the 2 shaken Continental units.
Cool. We kind of had to declare that all at the same time.
Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, in that case, no, I can move them as well. That's fine. I'll hold them back. The grenadiers in the stone house will shoot at the veteran militia across from them.
The reason that rule exists is because you get a penalty when you're shaken, and what happens is...
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's all good. I can still move them anyway. It's not a huge deal. The guys in the stone barracks will shoot at the veteran militia.
2 dice, no penalties, no bonuses.
5 and a 2.
I literally did it again. What the hell is wrong with me? Neither did I, apparently.
I didn't even see that.
God, I keep doing that. Buy raw militia. Oh, well, let me not do that. Because that's an actual victory condition. Let me just go ahead and move them to the bottom of the table. I keep doing that same stupid mistake. It's like the 3rd time I've done that. I don't know. I wouldn't have been a very good American commander in the American Revolution. That's why I'm back here with Knox. My fat ass is with the artillery.
Not a bad place to be. Okay, so that's that one. Yeah, do I want to leave the Jaegers there, or do I want to move them up into the stone barracks? I think I'll shoot the Continentals with the Jaegers.
Okay, they're definitely in range. You have 1 dice at this range. Now, they count as Jaegers, so it's -1 because they're riflemen. So my resilience goes down to a... I'm going to lose them too. Because they're going to route into the river.
I rolled a 2.
Oh, God, they fucking... No, they didn't, because... Hold on.
you have a +1 commander there?
No. My question is, does the Jaeger bonus? The Jaegers get the bonus of the range. They have a 3 hex range. I don't think I gave them the range for against resilience. The reason that American Patriots get that is because they are trained to shoot at officers and sergeants first.
Yep.
For Patriot Riflemen. Okay, no. So
Yep.
their resilience is a 3, a 2 is a miss. However, they get the 1-star bonus, which means they have a range of 3.
Yeah, so they can threaten some of those commanders out there later on in the game. Yeah, cool. Oh, good. So that's left.
I just didn't remember if that resilience bonus, because Jaeger are kind of like riflemen, but like that, like they're not allowed to target Patriot officers. Yeah, they don't get all the they don't get all the Patriot riflemen bonuses.
They're light infantry, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, do I want to combine all of these into one, or? Okay, so everyone. No, damn. The two Fusilier regiments on the left of that line there.
On the left-hand side, yep.
Will fire into 3420.
Cool. That is 2 dice. Are they shooting at both of them?
Yeah, 1 on each. Yep.
Okay. Cool. Their resilience is a 4.
You know what? Sorry, I'll do all four units into them. So.
Okay, the resilience is now a 5 because now you're taking scraping fire. But you have more dice. You've got 4 total dice.
So for the Continental unit on the left, a 5 and a 1.
Okay.
And for the one on the right, a 5 and a 2.
That's more units destroyed. Because as he falls back, that's fine. And then this guy now has nowhere to fall back to. I hate my life, and I hate stacking rules. Oh my god. It's because I'm in a rush. The game is only half over. It's only turn 6. And I'm like one good crack away from shattering most of your line. I need to take my time, and I'm not taking my time, and my forces are becoming too badly stacked up behind each other because I'm in a rush. That's the issue. That's the mistake I'm making myself. Okay. I think that's it because Fusiliers can't see anything on the extreme left.
They can't see anything.
On the extreme right.
Yep. That's everything. I can move the 2 Grenadiers and the Fusiliers later.
We keep forgetting this. Oh no, because we're at the end. We're doing it exactly right. At the end of the fire phase is when we do incidental fire. So Sergeant is vulnerable to Jaeger. So roll 2 dice for Sergeant.
Okay, to Sergeant. 5 and a 1.
Okay, no worries. Sullivan is okay. Glover's okay. All the guys in the hex are okay. Green is okay.
Yep, Washington's okay. Everyone else seems to be fine.
Cool. Alright, so now we go to your movement phase.
Cool. So the Grenadiers... see, if I move forward, I lose my artillery pretty much. Do I want to risk an assault and then... Yeah, screw it. Those Grenadiers there are going to charge into that Shaken regiment.
Cool. Here they come. Boom. Okay, we'll be taking some opportunity fire.
I mean, it's not the smartest idea, but it's pretty cool. So.
Alright, so I've got to make sure, and guys in the chat, keep me honest here, I got to make sure I don't refire the guys that are taking opportunity fire during my next fire phase. So these 2 and these 2 are all going to shoot. All 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 only. However, I'm now clearly in his flank. So his resilience goes down by 1. So I've got 6 dice against a 3-up. Okay.
It's only going to get 2.
Okay, here's the first 3 dice against one company of Grenadiers. That is shaken and routed. Trying to kill him. Come on. There, he's dead. And then the other guy, I've got 1 dice left. He's shaken.
Okay, cool.
Alright, so he's destroyed. And he is now shaken, which means no charge takes place.
Yep. Does he fall back from where he is, or stay there?
Yeah, he does fall back 1 hex. He has to fall back 1 hex.
Yep.
Pretty much back where he started. There's just a lot fewer of them now. Alright, so again, I'm not, when it comes to my fire phase, I'm not allowed to fire these 2 units. Or these 4 units. Cool. That was helpful. I think you just felt sorry for me, so you're like, let me throw away some units.
No, I thought if I could get them, then I could put up a whole bunch of. I could split you in half.
That would basically break my line, yeah. That bridge would be a new seam in my line.
It's only riflemen back there, really. Riflemen and artillery, I can deal with that.
But yeah, the artillery and riflemen, they need like 1 or 2 more turns to set up. And then things are going to get nasty. Okay, any other movement? You've got 1 unit left to move if you want.
They'll move back into the Presbyterian Church.
These guys are like, Iron Cross badasses back here, man. They broke this whole incident packing down the road, man. Those poor guys.
Oh, and just for pivots, the Fusiliers on the end of the right-hand line there, they'll just pivot to the northeast.
Now that's a good continental line right there. Braced in buildings, including stone buildings on the flank. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's how you do it. Alright, we now go to technically, rally phase. Grenadiers rally pretty well because they have kick-ass resilience. You need a 1 through a 4 on a single d6.
A 1?
Cool, they are no longer shaken.
Cool.
What's going on in Mr. Chat? I'm not always showing my dice box, right? Uh-oh. I do on sometimes. Oh no! He's embarrassed my dice are shabby old yellow stained cubes. I like my dice. I picked these dice out specifically. I like my yellow dice. They show up well on camera. I specifically pick out these dice. Of the German states, Hanover were the closest to an ally in the were close allies to the English during the Napoleonic era. Does that check out?
Oh yeah, the English king is the Hanoverian Elector. He's the English king's been German since the 1700s.
Yeah.
So he was the Elector of Hanover. So that's why there were Hanover regiments, but
I definitely have Hanover. I had Hanover regiments. Vorpalbite was asking about this earlier. I have Hanover regiments in my replay of Waterloo this past June 18th.
Yeah, they're Hanoverians there. So the king's name is not actually George; it's Georg. So that's the technically, the King of England's name was Georg. So yeah.
Yeah, Vorpalbite's talking about his 20-sided dice. Last week I purchased the biggest 20-sided dice I've ever seen. It's as big as my fist. Frankie fucking Four Fingers has a diamond the size of a feast. Who knows that movie? The dice fits in my dice cup perfectly with no room to spare. Yeah, that's literally your whole dice cup is that one dice. Era, not area. No worries, Rasmus. The funny thing is, Vorpal, he has about 100 dice. Yeah, as I'm saying, I have thousands of dice. I literally picked these yellow ones on purpose. Okay, Vorpalbite, take it easy. We'll let you know how this game goes on, later on in the night. And let's see what else is going on. Alright, cool. I've checked both streams. Sweet. Are you serious? That question wasn't for me, right? I'm not sure what you mean by that because science teacher. That question wasn't for me, right? I don't, Jen, I don't get that question. What are you talking about? Oh, the movie quote. No, I know you know that movie. Because Science Teacher, I'm challenging the chat. He's talking about a 20-sided dice that's the size of his fist. Well, in a movie, a guy's talking about a diamond. And he actually says, Frankie Four Fingers. I won't say the F word again, but it's Frankie something Four Fingers has a diamond the size of a fist. With a really bad, I'll give you another hint, Russian accent. Okay, so it's American turn 7. It's time to shift formation. Not the world. What is actually going on right now? Alright, there we go. Alright. Movement phase. Or no, I'm sorry, gunnery phase. Ooh, my gunnery phase kind of sucks. They already fired. No range, they already fired. I do have some Patriot riflemen that can do something. Alrighty, Patriot riflemen are going to go ahead and take their 1 dice each, because they're at extreme range. Down here, they're going to go ahead and try and target this unit. Actually, I take that back. They're going to try and target Deck now. I want to shoot him down and put this entire unit out of command. And once I do that, they cannot move or fire until they're attacked.
Yep, that would really mess me up.
Let me make up the rules for that. I don't usually use this rule, but I'm losing this game so badly that it's time to get nasty. Patriot Riflemen versus Crown Commanders can deliberately target Crown officers. Range of attack is 3 hexes. They simply roll a d6. A 5+ indicates that an officer has been hit. In such cases, roll a d6, the commander is killed, evens, the commander is wounded. Ooh. So I have to roll a 5 up, then I have to roll evens, then I have to roll odds. Alright. I'm doing it. Deck now. Go away, sir. I don't like you anymore. That is a 5 and a 3. That is 1 hit. He is definitely hit. He's either killed or wounded. Odds, he's killed. Damn it, he's only wounded. So he's still on the board. But his movement is now reduced to a 2 instead of a... No, I don't want to change the format picture.
That's right. I can deal with wounded.
Okay, now he's red because he's bleeding. Alright. Alright, that's it for that fire. And I'm pretty sure that's it for my gunfire right now. Oh, I got these guys. Still on the flank of those Fusiliers, although it's only 1 dice. You never know, your chance goes up to a 5. Your resilience goes up to a 5. +2 for building, -1 for flank fire. So a 5 up would be nice. A 1, no. And then he will pivot. In other words, I won't be able to shoot next turn, but I don't want to lose another unit to a stupid stacking. All he has to do is be shaken, and at least then he can move a little bit. Okay. I'm on movement phase now. Which means before I start my movement phase, let me do, like I always forget, so-and-so, incidental commanders. On Breathen? Nope. And Deck now. Now, Deck now doesn't have to roll because he's within range of Patriots. He has to roll because he's within range of Veteran Militia. He can literally be shot twice in the same turn. If if Patriot Riflemen are the only unit and he takes deliberate, then he doesn't have to roll again. In other words, the same unit can't attack him twice.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, because I suppose there's not really any bullets flying around it. Yeah.
Nope, he's okay. Alright, cool. So continuing with movement.
Has anyone guessed the name of the movie yet in the chat? Because I think I know what it is.
Oh, Snatch for the movie, says Rasmus.
Yeah.
Rasmus wins the prize. Frankie freaking Four Fingers has a dice the size of a feast. This guy will fall back here instead. I know my accent's terrible, but you guys get the idea.
Well, that's Boris the sneaky something Russian, isn't it? That's
that's the guy he's calling. I can't remember the brother's
Yeah.
name. He never appears in the movie again, so I don't even think he has a name. I think he's Boris's brother. But, Boris the Blade. You mean Boris the Bullet Dodger? Yeah. Why do they call him that? Because he dodges bullets, Avi. I think I just illegally moved a shaken Continental unit. So I'll put that back before somebody calls me out. Alright, shaken units are allowed to move if they don't move closer to the enemy, so they're literally falling back. That guy's routed. I'll figure him out in just a second. He'll stay put. This is one of my better infantry units, but I don't want to make the same mistake I keep making with double stacking behind me. God, I got so many stupid commanders. Okay, I think that will do it for my movement phase. Looking forward to turn 8, I hope. I now go to rally phase. Start off with these guys, +1 bonus, 4 down. 3, success. These two guys are both, again, they're adjacent to Sterling, 4 down. Because they're both veterans, right? Or they're both Continentals. No. Yes. This guy is adjacent to Fermoy. Success. And the routed guy, 2 or less. He's not. Oh, he's adjacent to Washington. He gets a 3 or less now. No! Washington fails to turn him around. I'm going home for Christmas. 1, 2, off he goes. Oh no. Alright, that will conclude my turn. Over to your turn 7.
Cool. Okay. I have no formation changes to make.
Okay.
So it's just, I don't have to roll for Von Deckau, do I? Like a bleed out or anything like that?
Oh no, he's just wounded. Which means he's basically, if I wound him again, he's dead. And his speed is reduced from 6 to 2.
Yep.
But
okay,
cool.
Cool.
But units with anyone within 2 hexes, again his range is 2. Everyone's still in command.
Okay, cool. The artillery will team up with the guys in the stone barracks and fire at the 2 Continentals there with Sterling.
Alright, cool. So that is going to be, it's within your arc. At long range, you only get 1 dice, but that's 1 dice for your grenadiers, 1 dice for your grenadiers, 1 dice for your battery, 1 dice for your battery, total of 3 dice. My resilience goes up to a 5, +1 for Sterling, +1 for elevated position.
Yep, and then -1 for artillery.
Oh yes, thank you. Yep.
So
4.
the one, I'll go 2 on the one on the left, a 4 and a 5. Ooh.
Routed.
And the one on the right is just a 5. Oof. That may be the last time I ever get to shoot that flank though, because I'm kind of getting overwhelmed.
Alright. Other fire? Are your Jaegers doing anything down there?
Yeah, the Jaegers will fire at the... I'll go for the militia up on the hill. Oh, actually, the Continentals in front of them.
Cool. That's going to be 1 dice. Yeah, 1 dice. They need a 3 up.
6.
Yep. He's up here and he is shaking. See, dummy, that's how you're supposed to do it, so your unit can fall back a little bit.
Grenadiers. Sneaky riflemen are too far away.
That's what American riflemen do.
Now, if I charge, I'm going to open myself up to a whole bunch of fire there, so I won't do that. Okay, so the 2 Fusilier regiments, actually the 3 Fusilier companies, sorry, that are facing northwest.
Okay.
They're all going to fire into green's hex there.
Oh, they're facing northwest. Sorry. 1, 2, 3. Okay, my resilience is a 5. You have a total of 3 dice.
2 on the Continentals. Oh, 1 on the floor. Sorry. A 1 and a 4 for the Continentals.
Ooh, make that some of that is flanking fire, so make that what did I say, it was a 5? It's down to a 4 again. So that 4 succeeds. That now becomes a shaken. Boom.
And the one on the militia is a 2. So.
He's fine.
And the 2 units facing northeast, so the one in the Presbyterian Church and the other one.
Okay. Oh yeah, these guys here. 1 dice there, 1 dice there. Okay. Yep. They are adjacent to Washington. They're in wooden buildings. That's +2. You're scraping by some buildings. That's +3. That gives me a 6. You need a 6 up.
1 on the left, 5. 1 on the right, another 5.
Cool. Very good.
I think that's me.
Oh shit! Hold on, I screwed up. This guy was facing this way, so when he falls back, those are his 2 choices. He can't route. He can't shake in sideways. Alright, he has to fall back that way. Sorry, that was an illegal move.
Oh good. Oh good.
Cool. All right. I don't think you have any. Oh, have you? Okay, sorry. Movement.
Yeah, movement.
I think you've got 1 unit that hasn't moved, or that hasn't fired.
Yep. They're going to just shift to their right, just into that front street, hex there.
Like so?
Yep.
All right. Alrighty. These grenadiers are like, where are they going, man? 1, 2, they are technically still in command, so they're good there. Alrighty. Excuse me.
Now we do incidental fire.
Oh, we should have done that before movement, but yes. Green is vulnerable.
7.
Sergeant is not. Glover is. Oh, Sergeant is too. Sergeant.
10.
Close. Glover.
7.
Sterling.
9.
And I think that's it. Washington's behind buildings. Knox is out of range. Mercer's out of range. Okay, turn 8. Change formation. I don't think any... I would like to change their formation, but that's not going to happen. Ooh. Oh, technically, these guys are routed, which means they're in column formation. Alright, change formation. No. Fire phase. Oh, yes. A great deal of fire phase. First of all, these 2 Continental Regulars are going to shoot, or Continental Riflemen. Let me shoot one of them and see if I can hit that officer. Nope. Second one. I missed them twice. You guys suck!
Oh.
Alright, I've got flanking artillery fire, shooting down this thing into that stone barracks. 2 batteries, they get 1 dice each. They are in range. -1 for their... a -1 for flanking fire, -1 for artillery. They're not adjacent to a +1 commander. No, Knox is not a +1 commander. So that's going to be a grand total of -2, +2 for your stone barracks. 2 dice against the 4. Jesus Christ, man. I was a bad boy this year. Santa's not being nice to me. Not move any shaking guys. Ooh. Who's my worst commander? Sergeant, get back there and turn those guys around. That was disappointing. Alright, I'm making 2 assaults there. Washington's taking 1 in. Fermoy's taking in the other.
Yep.
Oh, I never fired these 2. Oh, he's not in range anyway. Okay, good. This guy is in range. He gets 1 dice, add 1 to the next to green, so he gets a -1 to your resilience for that, +1 for building, so it comes out to a wash. I need a 3 up. Alright, now I get a good die roll. One of these units is falling back. Which way do you want to go?
I will go back to the just straight back. Yeah. So down south, sorry. South.
Okay.
Yeah. Oof, that's not good.
Yeah, let me not turn my flank to the friggin' Hessian artillery.
Maybe don't do that. Yeah.
Oh, yes, I almost did that. Actually, if he's going to pivot, he can only move 1 hex. So let me not be cheesy. Come on, Mercer, get your ass in the war. Okay, that concludes my movement. I am assuming there's going to be some opportunity fire with these 2 units to meet the charge. Actually, 3 units. Or do you want to fight with bayonets?
Fight with bayonets. Yeah, might as well.
I mean, either way, you get to fight with bayonets. It's just it's not simultaneous.
Yeah, I'll do it simultaneously.
All right, cool. And the charge goes in. Okay, we'll do. There are 2 hexes in play here. Cool. So the first one, we'll do Washington's first because it's awesome. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the first number on the counter. Is their 0 range attack. Cool. So your resilience, there's no flanking attacks there. They're both Fusiliers with a 3. Alright, I get a +1 for being a charge on infantry. +1 because Washington's with me. Your resilience goes down to a 2. It goes up to... No, it goes down to a 1. It goes up to a 2 again because you're in light buildings. So I got a total of 4 dice. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm trying... I keep doing this. Maybe I shouldn't do this. I need 2 ups. I have to declare it now. Oh my god, I hate my life. I'm putting them all on 1. I'm trying to... I'm gonna freaking throw at least 1 brick. I know that. I'm trying to kill some people. Sure enough, boom. But the other 3 are all hits. That's, shaken, routed, killed. Yep. That is 1 unit destroyed. However, because you did not take opportunity fire, he still gets to swing bayonets. So we'll figure that out in just a second. All right, so you got a grand total of 4 units. Yep. I'm in light buildings, and I have General Washington with me. My resilience is a 5. So you got 4 dice out of 5 up.
First 2, 4 and a 6, and
it's 1 hit.
A 5 and a 2.
So that's 2 hits. Did you put them on 2 different units, or?
I'll put them on 2 different units.
Okay.
Yep.
So they're both shaken. They pretty much end up back in that hex. They briefly occupy this hex, and then that last unit kind of ejects them. However, in other news, one of them is dead. The one facing northwest or the one facing northeast?
Northeast.
The one facing northeast, you want to live?
No, I want him. I'll kill the one facing northeast.
All right, cool. Boom. The officer's fine because you're still, again, he's not in a hex alone with enemy units. All right, now down to this one. 4 dice. Again, +1 for charge. I totally forgot. Oh my god. It's +1 for a charge, +1 if the officer's going in there with him, +1 because the officer is Washington. That's -3 +1 is 2. That resilience, a 1 is always a miss, so never mind. That result is valid. I thought I screwed that up as far as whether or not this guy is shaken or not. He would still live, he just wouldn't occupy the hex anymore, but the rule is a 1 is always a miss. Alright, so anyway, down here we have charge, the officer's coming in with him. However, the officer does not give a +1, so by himself, so he doesn't get a second +1. It's basically just -2. +2 for your stone building. Your resilience stays at a 3. I get 4 dice. There's only 1 unit in the hex. Come on, give me a dice roll for a damn change. 1, 2, 3. That's an ugly kill, but it's a kill.
Yep.
Alright, nice. Your 2 dice back at me. I'm technically in a stone building as well. The officer gives no bonus, so my resilience is a 4. 2 dice against the 4.
4 and a 3.
So 1 success. 1 guy is ejected. And technically they're both shaken, although for different reasons. Alright, we're caving in one wing. And I think that's going to be it, because these guys all fired or moved. These guys, sorry, I went way too far to the west there. Because of that creek, they're not in charge range. I have to charge next turn, so I'm going to get one more face full of shit, for those grenadiers. Oh, wait, I screwed something up. This guy's going to stay back here. Even that's not good. Damn it, where did he come from? Yeah, let me just stick with that. Alright, never mind. Alright, that's going to be it for my movement phase. My attack phase. Oh, we have some incidental fire that might happen. Okay, Mr. Van Sechen is definitely in range of enemy units. He's got enemy units all around him. Did my microphone move too far away? Alright, here I go. For the wounded guy on the left. Sorry, on the right. Nope. And for the grenadier commander. Nope. Oh, I have a shit. Oh my god, my rally phase. My rally phase is going to be a beast. Alright, routed unit. I'm going to just go from left to right. Routed unit.
Yep.
He needs a 3. 4. Sergeant go with him. Shaken unit. He needs a 4. He's good. Shaken unit needs a 3. Other shaken unit also needs a 3. Two successes, 1 failure. Adjacent to Washington. Needs a 4, needs a 4. Needs a 4. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Jesus Christ. Washington, what the hell, man?
Oh. I think, yeah, he might need a bonus. Maybe just him.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be like a special thing where it's like Washington, he doesn't get the +2 for all kinds of, like, +2 commanders are really rare.
Yep.
For gunfire and resilience and all that stuff, but for rally checks, yeah, just rally checks. Anyway, this guy down here with Firmoy gets
like a.
Go ahead.
Oh, just thinking like a +1 star or something, yeah.
Yeah. Oops. Oh no, he has a negative, he's a 0 commander, he's still shaken. Sorry. Oh my god. Yeah, it's just taking too long. Alright, your turn, turn 8.
Okay.
I doubt anyone's changing formation, but I'll just ask.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. It's
Okay, we're now to gunfire phase, which I'm sure there's gonna be a lot.
Yep. Damn it.
Unless you want to charge me again.
Actually, I was thinking I was gonna charge you again.
Come out of the stone barracks. Please do.
But so many targets are in front of me, but I don't think I'm going to be able to actually. Let me see. Let's start with the cannons again, just for.
Okay.
Into the 2 units next to Glover, and they'll be supported by the guys in the stone barracks.
Once again, 3 dice. My resilience is a 4 because I'm adjacent to Sterling.
Yeah. So 2 on the Continentals, 5 and a 1. And on the militia, a 4.
I'll just put them both here so I can use one shaken counter. Okay. I think that's almost... Oh, Jaeger's down here. And then I think this guy can shoot at 1 unit. Anyway, Jaeger's down here. They have 2 dice at point-blank range.
Yep. 2 and a 3.
That's still enough to shake them.
Oh no, Sterling's there. Oh
yes, thank you. They survive. Stand fast! Because the resilience technically goes to a 4.
Everyone else is going to either be moving or charging, so...
Okay, oh yeah, this guy has a line of fire too. Oh no, charging. Alright, cool. So now we go to... Okay, we're at the end of your fire phase. Incidental commander damage. We're looking at Sterling and Glover. So roll for Sterling.
Sterling. 12.
No, he's wounded. No, that's not what I meant. Format picture, dumbass. Okay. Glover?
And Glover, 8. He's fine.
Yep. Technically, Sullivan and Sinclair are both in range as well.
Okay.
I'm sorry to say.
Sullivan, he's fine. Sinclair is 11, but he's still fine.
Oof, close.
Don't think anyone else
Dude,
is in
these
range.
guys are just like, get out of my damn barracks! You shall not pass! Oh god, here's the one I'm afraid of. Washington is adjacent to Hessian troops.
Oh, yep. A 4, he's fine.
Alright. Alrighty. And Fermoy is within range, but he's out of arc, so he's fine.
Yep.
Okay, so now we go to your movement phase.
Okay. Okay, the 2 grenadiers who are still sort of in that line there are going to charge into... So, oh, sorry, yeah, that one and the one with Von Deckau. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
They're both going to charge into Green and his unit.
One is Deckau going with him?
Yes, yeah.
We will now take El Mucho opportunity fire, including artillery. 2 dice, -1. 2 dice from rifleman, that's 6. 2 dice, so 2, 2, 2, and 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. -1 for green, -1 for rifleman, -1 for artillery. Two more. That's a total of 12 dice, because now we're taking flanking fire. Is that almost stupid? I want these guys dead. So, yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's going to be a total of 12 dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't have that many. Hey, who's making fun of my dice? Because they don't like my yellow dice. I have to get dice from a different color now. So now you can be happy. Make fun of my dice. I specifically pick out these dice because they show up good on camera. And what do I get? I get ridiculed. I see how it is. Make fun of me on Christmas. I'll teach you. Alright. The resilience is basically... Oh, I'm wasting my firepower here. I don't care. I want them dead. Actually, no, I'm serious. My target number is basically not a 1. Alright, so those 2 units on the side... 8 -1, I'm going to get at least 2 1s. And I need 6 successes to wipe out that whole group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'm going to throw them all in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's enough to kill him right there. And then all this is extra. Because the way I've been rolling, I'm going to roll at least 3 bricks. So, yeah, both those units are hella toast. And Deckau is pretty much sitting there in the field wounded by himself. He has 1 movement point left. Does he want to fall back into the buildings, or...?
Yeah, he'll fall back into the buildings. Yeah. Not that it's going to do much, but...
Okay, so I pretty much fired all this stuff, incident, or opportunity fire-wise. Oh, cool. Okay, I think... Do you have any more movement? I think you have these grenadiers down here that haven't done anything.
Yeah, they will rotate to the northeast.
They didn't fire, so they can move 1 hex if they want.
Yeah. They will. They'll move back into the place where they were.
And these shaking guys can move as long as they don't move closer to the enemy.
Yep. They'll just move to their left, so down to the southwest there.
Okay, are we sure? The only reason I ask is because if they're not adjacent to a commander, they can't make a rally check.
Oh, that's true. No, yeah, I'll leave them where they are.
Okay, cool. You had so few shaken and broken units that...
It hasn't really come up yet.
Alright, speaking of which, we now go to your rally phase. So
Yep.
he is adjacent to a commander, he gets to make a roll. He has to roll on or beneath his resilience, which is a 3. Basically, it's a 50-50 on a d6.
Okay. 2.
He does it. Alright, and American turn 9. Problems, I've already fired a bunch. No one is changing formation. No worries. We'll go directly to combat phase, or gunfire phase. 2 artillery batteries into the flank of a stone building. Again, +2 or +1 for artillery, -2 for buildings, and the flank. So it's, yeah, your resilience is still a 4. 2 dice against a 4. I'm trying to throw in some artillery to soften them up, guys, before I charge. We'll see what happens. 4 and a 3, that's 1 success. They are shaken and they have to withdraw 1 hex.
Cool. Okay.
So, which hex do they want to withdraw into?
They will. They'll go just straight south. Let's team up with the Jaegers.
And I guess Breath Hour's going with them.
Yep.
Cool. Still won't be very much. In fact, it still won't be any get up a charge. I'll just get that building. Oh yeah. Because it still costs me 2 points to cross that stupid creek. All right, but I'll get to that in the fire phase. Or when I'm done with the fire phase. The thing is, I think my fire phase is now mostly done. Yay! Movement phase. I mean, I could charge with a veteran militia across the creek. That cost me my 2 points. Basically, you have to have enough movement points to get into the enemy's hex, and it costs 2 to cross the creek in line formation when there's no bridge. Needless to say, he's not going to do that because he's not insane.
Yep. Yeah, I don't think that would be a good idea.
Which means I probably should have fired them. Let me go ahead and fire them super fast.
Yep.
2 dice into buildings. Your resilience goes up to a 4. He is shaken. The Jaegers are shaken.
Okay.
They literally only have one choice.
Yep. Yeah.
They can't go on the river.
They'll not go into the freezing December 26th river. Yeah.
These guys have a bridge they can use. 1. Two. Oh, damn it, he's shaking. I keep doing that. See, I'm already tempted to put a... No, stop doing that, you dumbass. Alright, I don't want to put Sterling in that hex because he's already wounded. Alright. Fired. No, didn't fire. Yeah, fired, but... Alright, never mind. I keep confusing myself. Fired. Opportunity fire, opportunity fire, opportunity fire, opportunity fire. A few units I have that didn't fire.
Yep.
Oh my god, he's gonna escape because all my guys took opportunity fire. Is that why you did that? You tried to save on Deckhouse so I can't occupy that hex? Once I occupy that hex, he's done. If there's no actually infantry unit in there, he's shaken, so he can't move closer to the enemy, even though it's literally one wounded officer and he's the only guy in there. Same with him, and he just moved. Okay, I gotta start making some rally checks, man. My army is like disorganized and stalled. Alright, that's gonna be it for my movement phase, right? Yeah, it's because he's shaken. Alright, cool. Here I go. Shaken. +1 commander, he needs a 4 down. Succeeds. Thank you. The guy with St. Clair needs a 3 down. Succeeds. Thank you. That routed guy up here, he needs a... Those are Continentals too? Come on, man. Turn those stupid guys around. What the hell's wrong with you? Oh my god, they're still routing.
Oh no.
We ain't stopping for shit. It's a good thing I have too many commanders. Alright, this routed guy can't rally, he can't even check because he's not adjacent to a commander. Or I should say he's not in... yeah, he's not adjacent to a commander. I think that's how I wrote that rule. This guy here. Thank you. That guy in 3221. Oh my god. The guy to the south. Or at least most of them made it. Again, morale is always a problem, man. If you half the American military back then was Minutemen, and those guys would rout at the drop of a hat. They were not exactly the steadiest of troops. They weren't troops at all. They were militia. I mean, they're kind of built up in the American mythology, but really, as far as a military unit, they were actually pretty terrible. Alright, that will conclude the American turn, and I will check up on Mr. Chat. Because Science Teacher is still quoting Snatch. London. We're going to London? Yeah, London. Fish, chips, cup o' tea. Bad weather, worse food, Mary freaking Poppins. London! I think he's recently passed away. He was at Dennis Farina. Alright, cool. So we're almost to it. It's almost to the end here, guys. It's time for Hessian turn 9. Is anyone changing formation?
Maybe those Fusiliers might do it and run, but no, they're not gonna change formation.
Okay, fire phase.
All right. Where can I be the most useful? Making those cannon. Okay, so the cannons will fire at the veteran militia.
Okay, it's 4 dice, I'm sorry to say. Versus a... Oh god, I didn't put Sterling in the right place. Oh no. 4 dice against the 3. This is going to be ugly.
5 and a 1, and a 3 and a 2.
Oh, I got away with it. Alright, they're only routed. I thought I was going to get a unit destroyed in place there. So you had a 5 and a 3 were your 2 best rolls.
Yep, 5 and 3.
Cool. Alright, so that's 2 hits. That knocks them down to routed. And technically they're in column formation. There we go. Cool. I got away with that. That was a pretty poor roll. Alright, Grenadiers and Shaken Grenadiers.
So the Grenadiers will fire into the stone barracks.
Okay, that's a total of 4 dice. If both companies are firing?
Yep.
4 dice. My resilience, however, goes up quite a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, I have some really weak units in there, though. Do you want to fight at the Continentals or at the, the Raw Militia?
I'll fire all of them at the Royal Militia.
Everything on the Raw Militia to kill them. Good thing my resilience is now a 5. +2 for the building, +1 for Sterling. Gives me a 5. You need 5 ups. 4 dice.
2 and a 4 and 2 and a 6.
Oh, they're shaking. Okay.
That's all I've got.
Looks like it. Yeah, because these guys have no line of sight. They're blocked by 2 building hexes.
Yep.
You can scrape. You can't scrape between the 2 blocking hexes.
Yeah.
Valor and victory rule there, pretty much. All right, cool. Incidental fire. Mercer is vulnerable.
2 and a 6. So no.
Glover is technically, and oh god, so is Sterling. Oh no, don't hit Sterling again.
Glover is fine. Sterling is also fine.
Sweet. I'm pretty sure that is it.
Yeah, that's all.
Cool.
Unless Von Decker has some sort of rifle or something, but no.
It's got to be an infantry unit, yeah.
Yeah. Movement-wise, I'll just...
Oh, yeah, we almost skipped half your turn, sorry.
All good.
We also have to rally here, guys. Yeah, the artillery fired, so...
Yeah, might have to just give up on them. The Fusiliers will rotate to the right, so they'll face northeast.
They didn't fire,
Von
so
Decker will join them.
Alright.
Oh yeah, they can move again, can't they?
They can move 1 hex if they want. Basically, they can move forward 1 hex, but that's only if they want to.
Yeah. No, they'll stay where they are.
Alright.
Just to minimize just the crazy amount of firepower.
Unless he's falling back, he has to stay put.
Yep, he'll stay put.
Or he could sidestep.
No, I'll leave him where he is.
Okay, rally phase. 4 down on this Grenadier regiment, or company.
3.
Made it. 3 down on the Jaegers. Excuse me, on the Jaegers.
6. So no.
Nope, they still remain shaken. Alright, cool.
That's not good. I was hoping they were going to be my second line. That's not good.
Everyone just likes the Jaegers. They're cool green jackets. It's just something about Jaegers.
Very do excellent Jaeger minis where the officer has like an eye patch.
Oh, no way, yeah.
He's like leaning on a stick and he's like, looks all nasty and...
Okay, American fire phase. First of all... Ooh, no line of fire. The cannons are blocked by these riflemen. Damn riflemen, get out of the way! These guys fire south, they have no targets. Never mind, my artillery's not shooting. Damn you! Alright, fixed bayonets. We're gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way. So I have no fire phase, I'm sorry to say. Oh, that's actually... Yeah, it's kind of true. I have no fire phase. I can literally throw 1 dice into these Grenadiers. Your target number becomes a 6. That's literally a waste. So, never mind. I want to have more movement. Alright, cool. Go to movement phase. But first, he is under threat of incidental to fire.
Yep.
Nope. Ooh. I got my 1 lucky roll on that earlier in the game. It's all good.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, you've killed 1 and wounded 1, so it's.
Yeah, but that was on purpose. Alright, movement phase. One Opportunity fire?
Yep.
Okay. 2 dice against my resilience of 3 becomes 4.
6 and a 2.
Oof, shaken. He goes back here, and he's shaken. Cool. I'll now continue my movement. 1, 2.
Oh no. Yep, I knew it.
Okay, there's no opportunity fire there because it's coming in out of arc.
Yep.
That's going to be 2 dice versus 0 dice. Yeah, it's pretty much helpless until you get infantry in there. So it's 2 dice versus a 3. I am infantry on a charge. The officer's with me, and my whatchamacallit is I have a +1 commander in there.
Yep.
I wish I could get more units in there, but there's only 2 dice. My new resilience is down to a 0, which becomes a 1, so it's a 1. Charge in the flank. Oh god, it's like -4 really. A charge in the flank. Washington's leading the charge. I mean, come on. All right, so basically I got 2 dice. I'm trying not to roll 1s. Cool. So that's going to be 2 shaken artillery pieces.
Yep.
Oops, let me not do that. Keep doing that, don't I? Since I don't really have any line of sight anyway. Oh, they're routed. All right. Okay, so he will not be able to participate in the charge because he spent 2 points crossing the creek. These guys were all already across the creek. They're going to launch a 3-hex charge, and Mercer's taking it in. So Grenadiers, I assume, are taking opportunity fire? Or are they fighting with bayonets? They get 3 dice with bayonets. All right, cool.
They'll fight with bayonets, yeah.
Okay, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Infantry on a charge, 1. Officers leading him in, 2. That's it. The Grenadiers are now a resilience of 2. I have a total of 6 dice. Infantry on a charge, officers taking them in, but no bonus. No flank, nothing crazy, you're not shaken. Alright, cool. So your resilience goes down to a 2, goes back up to a 3 for stone buildings. This is actually a pretty tough charge.
Okay, cool.
Unless I roll really well. Which I do, 666. Mark of the Beast. Boom! Alright, unfortunately, you do get 3 dice back at me.
Yep. Okay. 2, 2, 5.
So 1 unit is shaken. I will pick the veteran militia. He goes back into that hex and he's shaken. Here's the really good news. I now occupy that hex. All units in there are destroyed, which means you lose the officer as well.
Yep.
All 3 units can't get in there because there will be a stacking violation. But that's that. Mercer's in there. Alrighty, and I think that's it for my charges. Let me finish up the rest of my movement. Some rallies. Adjacent to a +1 commander. Oop, get these rest of these dice out of here. Crap, man, all my good dice like hit all at once. Alright, here we go with shaking unit in 39-23. Succeeds because of Mercer, because of Sterling.
Nice, nice.
Fails still. Succeeds. Come on, Firmoy, you've been hanging out there on the extreme left the entire freaking battle. How about you, like, do something? There you go. Alright, routed guy. He's adjacent to an enemy unit. Not adjacent to a +1 commander. I need a 3+. Or a 3 down, I should say. Sorry. Alright, that's a success, which means he turns around and he's now shaken. Yeah, once a unit gets routed, you have to make actually 2 morale checks. You have to stop him running, then you have to have him marching forward again. I'm just doing this guy for fun at this point. Will you please stop it with your running around? Stop it. A 2? Okay, cool. He's now shaken. Well, the only thing that stopped him was trying to cross that creek. He's like, that water looks cold. Never mind. We'll go ahead and march back toward the British. I mean, we're at turn 10, so I mean, we're...
Shoes not looking too good right now, so it's yeah, you don't want to get your feet in the frozen water.
They also know it's the end of the game, so they're like, well, we're not going to get back into combat anyway. We're gonna get brave all of a sudden. All right, and that's pretty much the end of the American turn, the American game, pretty much. Your last turn, sir.
Okay, let's see what I can salvage. What? Yeah, I can't do anything with the Grenadiers because they have no officer.
That's actually. Let me check that rule. I think that there are some exceptions. Like, obviously, if they get charged, they can. Hold on. If they get charged, they can fight. There are some things. Like if the enemy's right in front of them, there are some things. Even a unit not in command diameter can execute interruption fire when charged by an enemy unit. Actually, no, I have to charge you. Yeah, you're not able to shoot at me if I charge. Basically, if I charge, yeah. I just want to make sure that I had the rule written correctly. So I think it's just the artillery. And yeah, because these guys fired on opportunity fire. They don't get to shoot this turn.
Yep. Yeah, and the artillery's shaken, so it's...
Well, yeah, you're still able to fire.
Yeah, still fire, but... Let's open up into green his unit in front with both artillery pieces.
Cool. You get 3 deaths because you're a point-blank range. You are an arc of fire. So it's 6 total dice. Oh, man. Oh, no. Please tell me those are veteran militia. Yes. His resilience is a 5. 6 dice. 2 3s.
Okay. 6 and a 5.
Oh, no. It's 2 already.
2 1s and a 1 and a 5.
I said his resilience was a 5, right? So you got 3 5-ups?
3 5-ups, yeah.
Killed him.
Ooh.
I don't believe I just lost another... Well, I lost this game a long time ago. On points, or whatever. Alrighty.
And then, my poor Fusiliers.
Which Fusiliers? These guys fired during opportunity fire. They can't shoot. This guy can shoot because he did not shoot. Oh no, he can't because he's not in command. I think we can rally.
Sure.
All right. The only guy that can rally are the 2 cannons. So you roll under a 5 twice. I'm sorry, under a 3
two.
twice. A 3 or less twice. So you got a
2
2.
and a 3.
They both made it. And that ends the game. Because now that completes... Ooh, Washington is within range of the Fusiliers. Technically, roll 2d6. Washington snake guys now.
5.
Alright, cool.
Yeah,
And I never wrote a rule for this, but do me a favor, just go ahead and roll for Mercer. Because, there's still gunfire going on. For all I know, one of his own men might kill him in the confusion. But
6. No, he's fine.
all right, cool. Yeah, because he's technically in range of an enemy unit there. And actually, so is Sterling. Sorry, so is Sterling, and so is Glover.
Okay, Glover is fine.
Sterling
is wounded.
He's
Double
wounded
sixes.
twice. He's killed. You wounded him twice.
Oh.
Oh my god, dude, I totally destroyed the Battle of Trenton today, guys. If there was going to be a turn 11, these guys get charged on the flank. They're gone.
I'm completely wiped out. Yeah, I got tabled.
Yeah. But that's the expected part. What's not the good part is this. That's not so hot. 5 enemy units. Or 5 American units and a commander lost. That's not cool. I lost that game 5 times. Because I was kind of in a rush. Also, I'm not entirely sure I have this scenario kind of designed 100% historically correctly. But yeah, it's supposed to be ridiculously asymmetrical. Also, I kind of knew I was in bad shape the second you
mean I got 2 whole regiments basically.
Yeah, they woke up literally 1 or 2 turns early. What happened to Lossberg historically, if you go back to turn 3, what happened to Lossberg regiment is supposed to happen to all, not supposed to, but historically happens to all 3 regiments.
Yeah.
And that's what happens historically. So, but then again, it's like it's like most special forces units or most surprise raids. They almost become solitaire games. It's like, who the hell would ever want to play the Hessians? I mean, you literally have to stand there and just die. You don't even ever get to roll dice. If it happened like it happened historically.
Yeah.
So again, and there were guardhouses. They were overrun historically. They got away with that historically, but who knows what might have happened, otherwise. So yeah, this time, once, especially those grenadiers. I've played this game a couple times. I always have problems on that American, on that Hessian left wing, especially once the grenadiers wake up. And I'm like, oh Jesus. Once in a while, I get close enough where I can charge because not only that, but there's a creek in front of it. But once in a while, I get close enough where I can charge that stone church. that stone barracks, while the Hessians are still asleep, and that's like, sweet, I got it. And the game, comes close to an American victory there. But other than that, it's actually it's fun to play because you get to kill all the Germans. But as the Americans, you always table the the Hessian player, but it's actually really tough to win. You really have to pull off a Christmas miracle to actually pull off a win in that game. Because science teacher says, I'm no George Washington. No, I'm not. That's for damn sure. Again, if you guys ever get a chance to watch a movie called The Crossing, I think it's available on YouTube. You may have to watch it in 10 parts.
Yeah, you can watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, check it out. It does this battle, and it does it right. Or at least as close to right as movies tend to get. One of the very first things that you'll notice, Washington is not standing up in the boat. Like the famous painting has him doing. It's a great painting, but it's terrible too. It has him sitting on his ass in a flatboat, not standing at the prow of this whaler or whatever the hell that thing is. Very different kind of boat, and he's obviously in a very different pose. And it's also nighttime in the painting. It's not nighttime. He did that shit in the pitch of night, middle of a snowstorm. So, that was the Battle of Trenton, as it did not go down. I mean, I think if the Battle of Trenton had gone down like this, it would still be considered a victory. It just wouldn't be as stupendous a victory as it is, or at least a miraculous victory as it's normally looked at.
Yeah, I don't think it would have changed much.
Yeah, because
maybe Sterling beats it.
Yeah, Sterling, that's not good. Sterling's a good commander. he's going to be in a couple more battles going forward. But that's cool. As far as those 5 units go down, that's 80 men. This figure 25 dead. 80 men times 5 is 400 total men. So figure maybe 25 dead, 50 wounded. Which is way more than obviously Washington took. Hence the game is an American defeat, even though of course the battle always comes out as an American victory. There's no way for the Hessian to win this battle. But we wanted obviously to have the Hessian a good chance to win the game. Rasmus says that was a good game. However, much was drowned out by the in-wars talking. He said he's at the in-wars again. That's his term for in-laws. The in-wars. All right, Rasmus. I'm hoping the cannon-fired musketry was not too inappropriate for your in-wars. But in all seriousness, yep. So yeah, we wanted to do. This is the last game I'm going to run this year because next Sunday is the 27th. I'll be out of town, and then I should be back. I think the next Sunday is I don't remember, January 2nd or something.
January 3rd, I think. Yeah.
So that's the 3rd. I always miscount that. Yep, next Sunday is January 3rd. Cool. So I'll be back for that. Other than that, yeah, we're coming up on 4 hours here, so I'm going to go ahead and close out the stream pretty soon. Anyone have any last questions or comments before I close down the stream? And any last thoughts from you, Dylan, as well?
No, I like the game. I like the system. It's good. It's it's really fun to always play these American Revolution games.
Yeah, one of these days I'm gonna have to clean up this system and really because there's still a few rough patches in the rules. It's not gonna work for every battle, but. Yeah, that's 3 rule sets I have to write. I'm still writing the Valor and Victory Moderns rule set. That got paused for the holidays. Yesterday I wrote IEDs, so we're really close. I'm going to do sample support weapons for Valor and Victory Moderns, and what else? Night rules, those night rules that we used in the Falklands that one time, Dylan. And
yep.
That's really about it. Yeah, a couple, not sample scenarios, but guidelines for writing your scenarios. I'm not going to put sample scenarios in that rule book. There's no way. Because the only way that's going to work is if I also include maps. And no.
Yeah, and that doubles the size of your rule book.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
No. Also, the people that I'm writing this for on Board Game Geek are not being very supportive, I don't mind saying. So guess what's not going to happen? Ooh. Yeah, sorry, guys. But other than that... What else was I going to do? Oh, yeah, we're going to write this rule set one of these days. And then the other thing that people are asking me to do is write the rule set for HK Skirmish. Not HK Ops, sorry. I'm never writing that rule set. Sitrep Skirmish. One of these days I'll write that down. Although that one's a way off before it's even close to being ready to be written. You have to playtest the game like at least 20, 30, 40 times before you even sit down and start writing.
Yeah.
I mean Darkstar
Warlord game.
Yep, go ahead.
Pump out garbage. You're not Warlord. You can't just pump out unedited garbage and then fix it later.
Oh, shots fired. Yeah, Darkstar was written. It took me 3 months to write that, and that was after. First of all, that's only about half the game. Is what the 168-page Darkstar rulebook, and that's only about half the game. And that was after 7 years of playtesting.
Yeah.
6 years, 2012 to 2018, and just solid playtesting. And even then, when I finally sat down to write that out, we've been doing Valor and Victory Moderns now for 3 or 4 years. 3 years. 2018, 19, and 20. Yeah, we're 2.5 years. And even then, it still took... Even that's not a rule set. That's an expansion of a pre-existing rule set.
Yeah.
And that's taken me at least a month or two. Yeah, so one of these days, we'll get around to this one for people who are interested. But for now, yeah, we're going to go ahead and close out the stream. Again, it's my last Sunday game for the year, so happy holidays, everybody, and happy New Year. I will see you on January 3rd. I believe Sitrep Podcast is coming back on the, sometime January 6th or something. I might run a game on Tuesday, but that will be a People's General stream or something, just to, use up some time. And keep the to keep the YouTube channel, going a little bit over the holidays. But definitely nothing after that, because by then we're out of town for Christmas. So thanks very much, everybody, and thanks very much, Dylan, as always, for helping out with getting shot at here in another Oriskany war game.
Awesome, thanks, Jim. Thanks, everyone.
Congrats on the win, and we're going to go ahead and close it out. Take care, everybody, and I will see you next year. Take care, everybody, and happy holidays one more time.